Manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. The exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that, as we do every single day. And we do have a good one for you this afternoon. We'll get you caught up on what's happening in the world. Deb will do that at 3:20 with Woke News. 4 o'clock hour, it's sports with our buddy Brandon Kravitz from 96.9 The Game. And, of course, we'll get the 4:45 Jack's Olympic update, find out what happened this weekend. And it's a lot. A lot went down this weekend for the Olympics. I hope he's got plenty of time. I guess that's on me, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
5 o'clock hour, it's trivia. Also, we'll end the show up with Ray Trenley. You heard it here first. Your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Find us easily on social, Instagram and Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show, and all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. If you want to send us a talk back, you can do that as well. Just get the iHeartRadio app, go to Real Radio once you get it, and use that microphone to send it on down the line.
Welcome back. How are your days off?
Good to be back. I really don't wish I was in front of a camper with a beer right now.
No, of course not.
No.
Come on, don't be silly.
It's I took that little vacation a few weeks ago, knowing that my wife's birthday party is coming. Her birthday, we go camping. Traditionally, we've gone camping for her birthday with all of our group of friends, like 15, 16, 17 of us or whatever. Go up to Itchtuckney Springs up in North Florida and hang out for 5 days.
You mean in the Big Bend area where we just had a storm make landfall?
Well, it's so funny, right? So, because of work schedules and other responsibilities, people trickle in throughout the weekend. We go up on Wednesday,
Right.
and, I sold my campers. We use Outdoorsy. Outdoorsy.com. It's a rental place where you can rent a camper. They'll bring it out to your location, set it up. You come camping, then they come and get it.
How was it? Oh, that sounds awesome.
That sounds perfect.
It's only the greatest thing ever. For about the amount it costs for one payment for your camper a month is about what that costs. So we stopped, we got rid of the camper and we use Outdoorsy now.
Wow, that's such a good deal. We have friends of ours that do that with boats.
The greatest, yes. I mean, it's like
Rent a boat.
It is. Like Airbnb for a camper. Everything is stocked in there. Everything you need. You literally show up with your clothes and food, rip it apart, have a good time, and then leave. You don't have to do any of the camper work, none of the setup, none of the breakdown. It's the greatest thing ever.
You don't have to worry about emptying
Nothing.
out the tanks.
Nothing. No tank rip. There'll be none of that for your boy Jimbo no more.
Nice.
So we got up there Wednesday, but the rest of the crew kind of trickles in throughout the weekend. And we had a crew coming up Saturday morning to do that final tube run with us. And we called them all and said, hey, look, it's supposed to be a complete S show up here. So just don't bother. And Saturday wound up being the greatest day ever. Now, Sunday.
Was that because you already told your family not to join you?
But Sunday was, it was a mess. It was pretty bad.
Bet, yeah, because
it just started setting in as we were leaving because we all left out pretty early Sunday morning. Usually we wouldn't get out there until like noon.
Right.
But up there the band started ripping through, and of course all day Friday it rained the entire day.
What county is
Lake City? It's up there near Lake City. It's only about 20 miles south of Lake City.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's it's a couple hours just north of Gainesville up there, but still a really good time. Very rural, but great. If you want to check out, that's a good place to go because the people up there have checked the blank out.
They call it the Nature Coast.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
That's part of the Nature Coast.
And there's a series of springs up there that are within 30 minutes of each other. And we were on one of the trams at Itchtuckney doing the tube run and ran into a group of African-American women from Ohio, probably about 10 of them or so. And for the last 15 years, they travel from Ohio to Florida and spend 2 weeks down here spring hopping.
Wow.
Just going from spring to spring to spring.
Boing,
right, exactly.
boing.
We saw them later in the afternoon. They'd already been to 2 others that day.
Oh, wow.
And it turns out that if you show that you had already paid for those other 2 parks, a lot of the others will just kind of let you in. I mean, it's $5. We paid for the carload. to get in. So it's like the cheapest form of entertainment.
You can't get better than that.
It's the greatest. You know, and once you pay to get into the day, if you camp near, you can go and do your tube run. You can swim. Like Itchtuckney Springs has 2 swimming areas: the head spring, which I call the grotto, which is like a shallower area where you can see the spring, where you can swim, in the blue hole. The blue hole is just like a giant pit that you swim over, and you can see straight down like 100 feet into a giant crevasse of flowing water.
Spring water?
Oh, yeah, but right out of the earth, though. 72 degrees.
Yep.
Right out of the earth.
My favorite.
Wake your ass straight up.
My favorite meme is still a photo of a bunch of people floating in one of the springs, and it says, "Hey, America, before you enjoy that spring water, just know that we floated in it first."
Oh, yeah, but I got that. If you're downstream from that, kid, you're in
Drink
bad.
up, kids.
You're in a bad way. You've had some Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
Let's just say that. If you're downstream in Itchtuckney, whether you like it or not, you've had a couple Mountain Dews. A lot of Mountain Dew in the water up there. Good ass time though. But I did see something I want to ask a quick question about. We got a lot of stuff to get to this week.
All right.
Or today, I should say. But I saw something. Now, do you guys remember truck nuts?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Truck nuts, right? And for people who do not remember that, there was a period of time about, 5-6 years ago? Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit longer than that?
Oh, longer, yeah.
A little bit longer than
Here,
that?
let me go ahead and do a Google on truck nuts.
Yeah. Please, yeah. I want that on your search history for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all for the show.
We're talking at least 15 years.
Is it at least 15?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Jack, somebody throw out an anchor.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Holy ass,
kidding.
man. Holy ass. But truck nuts were thinking like there was these plastic or rubber testicles, just exactly like it sounds, and you would hang them from your truck hitch and drive through town with your truck, and it's, truck nuts.
Truck nuts began appearing in small numbers as custom-made
Truck nuts.
in the 1980s.
No, get out of here. Really?
That says it here.
No.
Late 1990s were the earliest known store-bought
Right.
truck nuts.
Now, we kind of all understand what truck nuts were, right? That was like, an exterior way for you to say, hey, look here, man. Not only do you look at this truck, and this truck has got nuts. Yeah. Not only does the driver got big ends, the truck one's got big ends too, right? That's the whole idea, right? It's kind of funny. Everybody laughed, ha ha. You're not, you got to try. Have you guys ever seen anything else hanging from a hitch or a bumper of a car to signify anything?
Hitcher bumper. No.
Right. Like nothing like that, right? So we know the rear view mirror stuff,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep,
Lots of things can hang from the rear view. Of
Yeah.
course, if you live up there in the villages, that could get you in all kinds of fun trouble, right? You start hanging
You
stuff
call
from
it
there.
trouble.
Right, exactly right. We call it Wednesday.
Exactly.
But I saw something hanging from the bumper of a car in that area up there in Itchtuckney Springs, and I can't figure out what it was and why it's there. Padded handcuffs. There is a guy driving around in what looked to be a 2000, I don't know, like Nissan sedan of some sort, the Altima, a little lowered or whatever, and he had padded handcuffs hanging from his bumper. And it wasn't an accident, like he didn't slip, fall. Next thing you know, he attached padded handcuffs to his bumper. But what do padded handcuffs on your bumper represent?
Kinky.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
It's
Or,
got
or he likes to drag people.
There
Oh,
you go.
gosh, yeah.
There you go.
That's why I saw it. I was like, okay. I mean, I got the truck nut thing. That's good. I mean, everybody can get that. It's a low bar scenario, right?
Well, it could be no different than the loofahs in the villages. This just isn't as much innuendo. It's just straight up out there.
I was going to say there's zero innuendo.
Straight up out there. If you're into this, follow this truck.
Have you ever seen a pair of those things, by the way?
What do you mean?
Not the fluffy ones. It's not fluffy like your.
I
Like
didn't ask if they were
I
fluffy. If
understand,
you noticed,
but it's not your clown show sex shop handcuffs where they're like they're bedazzled and they're fluffy. They like they have a.
these are hardcore serious.
These are like Ugg boots on the inside of handcuffs. Like they have it's got a leather pad.
Oh.
On the inside of the leather pad is the fluffy like Ugg boot stuff.
That sounds like someone who broke out of a mental health facility.
That's what they kind of look like.
like that leather strap, like if you're putting a straitjacket.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they look like, but
Ooh.
not quite that menacing. They still have that. They still have that come here feel about them. They did not have the.
I want to see your handcuffs.
They did not have the. Hey, you better not go anywhere. Feel about them. They had the. You stay right there. Feel about them.
You stay right there. I'll be right back with the key.
My wife had a good 20-minute conversation about with the old padded handcuff on the, and it was two dudes.
Oh,
It was two dudes, and one dude was kind of older. I'm going to be honest with you. One guy was probably in his mid 50s. The other guy was maybe in his 30s or whatever.
That's a whole bear twink situation going on.
I'm serious.
Do you think there is any practical use for handcuffs on a hitch like that?
Oh, no possible way. I mean, that
Keep your
was
victim still.
That man was making a statement of some sort. I'm just not 100 on what it was. Exactly. Stay still.
We're going to leave you tied up to the hitch, but we'll be right back.
But if you see those, like if I'm riding in the villages and I'm in my golf cart and I know what the red loofah means and I ride up to next to somebody and they got a red loofah.
You want to be careful of the red and the black loofah from what I've heard, and the purple.
And I said, I'm a red loofah guy, you're a red loofah girl? Oh, yeah. Next thing you know, we get some red loofah action. But if you pull up the next guy and you go, hey, look, I'm a padded handcuffs on my bumper kind of guy. What's that get me? I mean, I don't know.
Are you sure you want to go to the woods of northern Florida and ask that question,
I
Jimmy?
do not. That's I was in traffic. I was like, I don't know. That doesn't feel like it's going to be nice.
Well, somebody did just text us about drift charms.
Okay, what is that?
Ooh.
Because this was a drifter kind of vehicle.
Oh, was it?
It was a drifty kind of vehicle. Not quite there yet. It was drifting in progress.
So are these like the OS handles that usually come like in your car? These
No,
drifting
dude. These
charms?
things. This was a straight up pair of handcuffs with pads on the inside.
When you, I don't understand when you're saying drifting. How does this apply in this context?
when you hang on when you're drifting?
Got it.
It's the O, the
a hand-
OS.
all right, got it.
Yeah,
See,
the OS handle.
That actually makes more sense than anything because, again, I mean, it was they were Hispanic men, and I know the Hispanic guys like to build those drift cars. Asian dudes too. Oh, but everybody does really, but I know Hispanic guys were building them a long time ago. That kind of crossbreed between lowrider drift car, and they still build them to these days. And that's kind of looked like where that one was going. And for people out there who know their old Nissans, it reminded me of a 200 SX.
Oh, okay.
An old 200 SX, which is a vehicle they like to do that to because of the body style and everything.
Maybe it's while you're drifting, your buddy on the skateboard can hang on to the hitch in the back.
My God, that would be
That'd
quite
be
a
awesome.
whip. Either way, I would love to find that out a little bit later. We do have a question of the day coming up a little bit later as well.
Do you have padded handcuffs? Jack?
Well, I know we have Jack's Olympic update, but I do have a question about some of the athletes. That is an interesting question, hero kind of stuff. RFK has been making the news.
Oh, I almost put that in woke news.
Oh, man. And,
I almost put that in woke news.
And that particular crime is reaching some new highs. Plus, we have a bunch of other stuff to talk about as well. Deb, you got some news for us?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Vice President Harris expected to announce her running mate Tuesday. The death toll is up to 4 from Hurricane Debbie. That's just here in the state of Florida. And speaking of the Olympics, are you watching the Olympics? Turns out you've got a lot of company. We'll talk about how this Olympic viewership is up compared to previous summer games. We'll talk about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it for sure. Jack also got to see Christopher Cross, and I saw he got a photograph with him and says he has a bit of a story. Is it a goodie?
Oh, yeah.
Padded handcuffs?
Yeah.
Oh.
Safe word?
Yeah. Sailing.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with Deb's News and more of the Jim Colbert Show.
We are Real Radio 104.1. Online at realradio.fm. On your phone with the free iHeartRadio app. And, hey Google, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
I would be happy to.
No major delays to report on I-95 this afternoon for drivers traveling between Mims and Sebastian today. Things are up to speed along the river and the beach for those on US 1 and A1A. No major delays to report on Ogali Boulevard or on 192. If you see traffic problems today, just make sure to call the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Listen up, guys. If you have plans to sell your home for any reason, hit pause and learn a little about the Nickley Group before you make that move. These guys are changing the real estate game. Stress-free, innovative real estate solutions for home sellers and buyers. And look, don't believe the news that the market is softening. Not here in Orlando. Homes here are selling for record prices still. So if you're considering for any reason selling your home, downsizing, relocating, maybe you need a bigger home as your family expands, contact the Nickley Group. Find out what these guys can do for you. Not only does the Nickley Group sell homes on average for 6% more, they sell them twice as fast as well. More pocket in your pocket, more cash in your pocket faster. Get your home valued instantly. Get a guaranteed cash offer or list your home. Do that today at thenicklygroup.com. They have 3,000 5-star reviews, so please Google them. They don't mind at all. And if you're longing for that next level real estate experience, mortgage services, moving assistance, marketing, a team of realtors for you, it's simple. It's thenicklygroup.com. That's NICKLEY group.com.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Here's a top move for hiring a divorce attorney. See how they look and handle themselves on video or audio. Chances are that's them at their best, with editing, setup, and multiple takes. The courtroom is live. Mediation is live. Make sure your divorce lawyer is going to make you look good. At Trenley Kramer Law, we handle family law and divorce. TK Law, one firm for life.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Spectrum Internet has enough speed to handle all your needs, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus, Spectrum's advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security for all your connected devices. Get Spectrum Internet with fast and reliable speeds, starting at just $29.99 a month with a 2-year price guarantee. Visit spectrum.com/internet for you for full details. Offer subject to change, valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
I'm Mo DeWitt, and the Just Call Mo Comedy Jam is back. Join us Thursday, September 5th at the Orlando Funny Bone. And remember, it's all for the Yellow Brick Road Foundation, a great local charity. Tickets start at just $20. Get yours today at mocomedyjam.com.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
In this week's Marketers Report, Dana Nussbaum, Executive Vice President, Worldwide Marketing at Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on regional audio marketing and the movies.
Everything that we are doing is incredibly data-driven. We are getting signals in every single day about how specific audiences are performing. So although we're marketing at a very broad scale, and that does include specific local markets, that's really the beauty of iHeart's network. You're not serving the same message to a consumer in Nashville necessarily that you may be in New York. You have the ability to be very specific and very personalized, but at a tremendous scale.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hey there, folks. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes here from the Amy and TJ podcast.
That's right. We are bringing you the tea from Paris every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, tea from Paris. I don't know if we're married to that name, but the point is, we'll tell you what's going on. We'll tell you what's hot, what's not.
Bottom line, everything you need to know that's going on in Paris during the 2024 games, you're going to get it from us.
Listen to Amy and TJ on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Amy and TJ and start listening.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show. Unless you're watching us talk, then you're likely on YouTube. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe today.
What up, guys? Sport from Duval. Welcome back,
Duval.
Jimmy. Hope the springs were awesome. You know, many years ago, every Memorial Day, we would go to Jenny Springs.
Yep.
About 30 of us. It was a blast, man. It'd get crazy. But a funny story, a buddy of mine got wasted, and these girls showed up to our campsite, 2 girls. And he goes, watch, I'm going to pick both of them up. He goes, walking over there to them. He goes, how you doing, ladies? He goes, my French isn't very good, but I think it's pronounced threesome. We died laughing.
So clever.
Yeah. Hey, man, look, man. Up in North Florida, that works. They're like, oh, you so witty and funny.
You're
Come
so
over here.
cute.
Come over here in this tent. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show right here on Roll Radio. I am Jim. Jack is right over there, and Deb has a check of the news. Let's get it.
And now, it's time for Woke News. It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke on the Jim Colbert Show.
Good to have you back, by the way.
Good to be back.
As always, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. No, this isn't concerning at all. President Biden is meeting with his national security team today as there is growing fears of an attack by Iran on Israel. Tensions in the Middle East are high following the recent killings of a senior Hezbollah commander in Lebanon and Hamas's top political leader in Iran. Iran and its allies have blamed Israel and are threatening to retaliate. The U.S. is now sending more fighter jets and warships to the region.
That guy Deef that they got, if you'll remember that we were talking about when the very first thing hit with these guys last October, or was it last October, right?
Yeah, October.
Deef was the guy they wanted more than any of them. They call him the Shadow. There was only like one known photo of this guy. He never stays in the same place. Like it is right out of a Bourne movie.
Right.
This guy Deef, and they got him, and that's why they're all pissed off. This guy was like their guy.
And didn't they get him with a bomb that had been planted months ago?
I think something like that,
Which was like, what? All right. In the meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to unveil her running mate Tuesday. An announcement could come ahead of their first rally together in Philadelphia Tuesday night. This anticipated decision comes after Harris met with Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz over the weekend. Harris will kick off a 5-day tour through 7 crucial battleground states with her running mate this week.
Yeah.
So the clock is a-ticking.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Debbie is now a tropical storm as it continues to move inland after making landfall in Florida as a Category 1 hurricane. Florida Weather Center meteorologist Alex De Silva says it came ashore at 7 a.m. Eastern Time in Steinhatchee, that's in Taylor County in the Big Bend region of Florida, after a last-minute course correction.
It kind of made a little bit of a right hook at the last minute to make landfall near Steinhatchee. And honestly, that was probably a good thing because if it had remained over water a little bit longer, I think it would have gotten to Category 2 strength.
Winds are now weakening. Heavy rain, flooding remain the biggest concerns, especially up in
Eastern Caribbean here over the next day or so. We're going to have to watch this thing as it comes across the Caribbean and then could end up somewhere down in the Bay of Campeche here by the end of the week.
Florida Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie says some areas around Florida could feel the impact from the storm for up to 10 days. And even though it made landfall at Steinhatchee, you have high water rescues going on even at this time in Sarasota.
Yep.
So these long feeder bands have, given everyone a little bit of the fun. All right, Governor Ron DeSantis also addressed the activated emergency response in place for Debbie.
We also have FDOT crews staged to inspect coastal bridges, and we'll be monitoring water levels at low-lying bridges near major river crossings, particularly in the northern part of Florida.
Florida can expect federal help responding to Hurricane Debbie, though. President Biden yesterday approved an emergency declaration for the Sunshine State. He ordered federal assistance to supplement state, tribal, and local response efforts. Homeland Security and FEMA will coordinate the federal disaster relief efforts. Unfortunately, the death of a teenage boy in Levy County is attributed to Hurricane Debbie, which is now again a tropical storm. The sheriff's office says the 13-year-old was killed when a tree fell on his mobile home this morning, crushing him inside. No other injuries were reported. Meanwhile, a 12-year-old boy and a 38-year-old woman were killed Sunday night when their car went out of control on wet roads in Dixie County. And then Hillsborough County Fire Rescue says one driver was found dead this morning inside a tractor trailer that fell into the Tampa Bypass Canal during bad weather this morning. The 18-wheeler was traveling south on I-75 when it went out of control on the wet pavement and flipped over a concrete barrier into the water. Just the cab. The rest of the truck was left dangling behind. Divers recovered the body of the diver about 40 feet into that canal, identified as a 64-year-old man from Mississippi, inside, again, the submerged cab of that big rig.
Yeah, crazy. I also heard of an electrocution that they kind of put it on, Debbie, because of the gathering water, but I don't know if it was directly attributed to it. A woman was, they were working in their barn, I guess. She went to adjust one of those giant drum fans, and there was standing water in the barn, and the drum fan had an old frayed power cord running through the puddle she was standing in. And, you know, my idiotic ass this morning, it's blowing like crazy. Our power goes out. Before that, we hear a thud or some kind of sound, then our power dies. What do you think I do? You know what I need to do? I need to go out and investigate this barefoot.
Oh, Jimmy.
And I'm standing out there in my driveway with water running over my feet going, what are you doing? You are such a moron.
Jimmy! Get back in the house.
God just told you not to come outside. And what'd you do? Hey, what? What's that out there?
Well, it turns out you had lots of company because tens of thousands of people across Florida are without power. Over 270,000 were without electricity at last count. That's according to poweroutage.us. Suwannee County, that's up in the Panhandle or in that area, has the most outages at more than 23,000. Lake County earlier today had about 1,400. Governor DeSantis says over 17,000 linemen are available to help restore power in affected areas. All right, our last storm note is that it is affecting early voting in Duval County, but that's not all. Early voting has been set to begin today for the August 20th primary election, but due to inclement weather, it's now going to begin on Wednesday. Several other counties are also delaying the start to early voting, including Alachua, Gadsden, Jefferson, Levy, and Taylor counties, basically where Debbie made landfall. The mandatory early voting period in Florida is August 10th to the 17th, but counties can offer additional days before and after that period. All right, a sad local story. You may have seen the push notification on your phone this morning. A 4-year-old boy who was reported missing this morning in Orange County has unfortunately been found dead in a body of water near his home. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says Amir Baptiste was last seen this morning near the 12,600 block of Victoria Place Circle. That's near Alafaya Trail and Waterford Lakes Parkway. Police say he wandered away from his home, and they were concerned for his safety due to his age. So deputies requested the community to be out on the lookout for him. Detectives are still investigating how he got out of his home.
That's 2 in the last, 10 days now?
Yeah. It's just, and it's
about
every parent's nightmare, right?
About the same age, too.
Exactly. I mean, but they're so fast.
Right.
You wouldn't think at 4 they could cover that much distance.
It does not take that long. If you've ever had a 2 or 3-year-old in your life and you lost him for 30 seconds, that's the panic of a lifetime right there. You have no idea.
Yeah.
30 seconds, they can get a couple blocks away. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I know because I've tried. Let this one out and see how far I can get before no tracer, no nothing. It was a fun game. Just doing Walmart.
All right, authorities have released the names of the suspects involved in the deadly shooting of a Lake County deputy. Deputy Bradley Link was killed in an ambush Friday night while conducting a well-being check at a home in Eustis.
The most terrifying thing, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And they think it was an ambush, that they were set up for this, because 2 other deputies were wounded. Now, Deputy Stefano Gargano is in critical condition. He's due to have surgery today. Deputy Harold Howell is in stable condition. 49-year-old Michael Sulpizio, 23-year-old Savannah Savannah Sulpizio and 22-year-old Cheyenne Sulpizio are accused of opening fire on the deputies as they approach the home. Literally, they walk inside. They see what looks like a kicked-in door. They think someone's inside and hurt. They go in and are immediately met with a barrage of gunfire.
Yeah, it says there's video of it.
Yeah.
Immediately met with heavy gunfire. And it's right, because the person that they went to another house first, and that place told them, hey, they're down the way there. So do we know anything about what's going on with the investigation with those people?
Well, deputies believe the two women were sisters. The man was their father, and it's believed that they believed in some kind of doomsday cult.
Yeah, because they had a lot of they were preppers kind of, right?
Preppers, yeah. They had MREs, military, ready to eat
tons
meals.
of guns and ammo.
So one woman went to the neighbor, and they said, and then she was kind of incoherent, fighting with the dog.
And the neighbor pulled some of their hair out.
And the neighbor, and so when the guy sat back to call 911, his girlfriend came up and she hit her girlfriend. So then they call the police on this woman.
Oh, I see.
And I think the wellness check was on her, because then she was, she did not seem to be all there.
And she is in custody for this now.
Yes. And so when the deputies arrived, then they investigate the house where she lives, and they were met with the gunfire.
Yeah, she co-owns the house where the shooting took place. And apparently neighbors have said that she's yelled at them before and called their dogs hellhounds, and has seemed to be dealing with mental health issues. The sheriff's office says she was taken into custody for that mental health evaluation after Friday's shooting.
Wow.
And she's the only survivor out of that household of 4.
And then they wound up killing themselves, right?
And then they wound up killing themselves. That is the belief, that it was a suspected suicide. All right. Meanwhile, help is pouring in for the family of that deputy killed in Lake County. A memorial service was held yesterday at First Baptist Church of Tavares for Bradley Link, the 28-year-old. Died in that shooting Friday. He'd only been with the sheriff's office for 5 years. Started with the
Police Explorers.
Yeah, the Police Explorers,
which is what you remember that when I got busted for selling alcohol to a minor.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they sent in, a 15-year-old Police Explorer. It's for people who know they want to be a cop when they're in high school.
Exactly. And this guy, he looked older too.
Yeah, he did.
So when they said 20, I was like, I can't believe he's so young.
Yeah.
I can't either.
It's just a tragedy, but I don't know. Maybe it's the mustache. I thought he was older.
I did too. I was surprised to find out he was only 28, but a GoFundMe page for Link's wife and family has raised over $111,000 from over 1,000 donors. GoFundMe pages have also been set up for the other 2 deputies as well. Okay, getting ready for back to school time. Orange County Public Schools is helping students stay up to date on their immunizations before the start of the upcoming academic year. I think it's a week from today. School starts next Monday, August 12th.
Yeah.
The district is planning to host a series of free clinics at different middle school campuses this month. Caregivers will need to fill out a vaccine consent form for their child before arrival. Now, each event will run from 8:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, and the first 3 clinics are going to take place tomorrow, August 6th, at Freedom, Lockhart, and Ocoee Middle Schools.
Wow.
All right, Hollywood's video game actors are on strike. Lindsay,
whoa, what?
Easy.
You knew this, did
Red
you?
Dead.
I did not.
Yeah, they're on strike. And Lindsay Rousseau is a video game voice actor, and she says SAG-AFTRA is seeking the same protections against artificial intelligence that are given to on-camera celebrities.
In film and television, you can see the person, you can hear the person, and you can tell it is them. Well, in video games, so much of the work that us non-celebrities do is to not be recognizable as us.
The union says studios are not cooperating on that issue. It's shocking. This Friday will mark the second full week of striking.
Oh, you don't mean I can use your services and not pay you?
Yeah, right. In perpetuity?
Oh,
you have a problem with that?
What's wrong with you?
I don't understand.
How dare you not make us more rich?
HBO is providing looks at several major series releasing next year. Thought of you guys, because quite a few of your favorite shows are on this list.
All right.
Before the season finale of House of the Dragon, the network showed a teaser that showed footage for the next seasons of The Last of Us and White Lotus.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
White Lotus is a good one.
Yeah, exactly. I thought of both of you guys when it talked about that. It also provided a look at the It prequel series, Welcome to Derry.
Wow.
And a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. That's another Game of Thrones prequel.
That's cool.
And then finally, speaking of television, do you find you're watching a lot more Olympics now than you can remember with the last few games?
Well, it's funny because, the one thing that is bizarre about the Olympics is, there's so much happening at one time is trying to see the stuff you want. I think they could probably do a little better job, or maybe I just don't know how to manipulate that.
You need to talk to Jack about that.
But what they do is they do a live from Paris thing every night on, I forget what network it is. And when you tune into the live at Paris thing, it's like a compilation show where they show you, this is what I get anyway, they show you like the finals and the prelims of those things. You can see a bunch of different stuff at once, and that's what I've been doing. But yesterday I did catch a number of live things. Some swimming and foot racing, which was great.
Yeah, since it's 6 hours ahead, it really starts early in the morning. About the time you wake up, Jimmy, it's starting, and usually ends about 4 o'clock in the afternoon is 10 p.m. their time.
Yeah.
So I think the last thing last night was that 100-meter race.
Yeah, which was thrilling.
So in our prime time, from 8 until 11:30, what they are doing is they are taking all the highlights from that day's event and presenting them again for those who didn't watch during the day. They'll happen again tonight. So if you are watching live during the day or on the Peacock app, you're able to watch all the things they're going to show you tonight. However, if you don't, they kind of culminate the best of, and they present that every evening.
Yeah, it's perfect.
On NBC.
And, of course, we've got Jack's Olympic update coming up at 4:45 today.
Oh, boy.
But millions of Americans are tuning into the Summer Olympics in Paris, and the big winner is Comcast's NBC Universal.
Yeah.
Beginning with the opening ceremony, the 5-day total audience average was 34 million viewers.
That's damn good.
That is up 79% over the 2021 Tokyo Olympics.
Going into it, they thought there would be record low viewership.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird, though, because people only saw it in the bubble last time, which made it so boring and lame. No crowd responses. This year, you have the crowds back and you
that's
get the
true.
action.
Yeah.
And that's according to NBC Sports. Now, the success of the Paris Olympics follows the lowest ever rated Summer Olympics in Tokyo in 2021, as well as the lesser watched Winter Olympics in Beijing in 2022.
I like the Winter Olympics. No one gives it love.
I do too. I don't understand why.
We're the only two who watch.
Celebrity appearances from the likes of Snoop Dogg, who, of course, is the United States unofficial
mascot.
Olympic mascot.
Is crushing it, by the way.
He is.
My God, who would have...
He's with Cookie Monster, and you're like, go Snoop, go Snoop.
I fly you back 30 years. I'm going, got that right guy? That guy right there?
Yeah.
That guy is going to be America's sweetheart
Yes.
in the Olympics in 2024. Everybody would slap you silly. That guy could... He can do no wrong.
I have not seen a miss yet, right? I mean, put him in the pool with Phelps. Have him do this. Put him in fencing.
Having drink champagne with Martha Stewart. Done. Killing it.
It all works.
It does all work, along with Kelly Clarkson, Peyton Manning, and so many other celebrities have also been a benefit for the network.
He's just genuine. That's the thing about him is it's the first thing when they said about Clarkson is like she seemed genuine, but she didn't seem to, it didn't seem to hit where she was going.
Right, exactly.
Snoop's been around sports his entire life. He was an athlete as well.
He's just Snoop.
And he's just Snoop. He's just cool.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And now you all are officially woke. Go ahead, fanboy out. Fanboy out. Let it go.
I have to tell you, it is really cool to
It is
see
cool.
that. He is so non-stereotypical to what we put up for Olympics. Usually it's former athletes or, some stodgy celebrity. And every time they've tried to do that, whether it be Colin Jost or any of the other established, your normal, kind of, we'll put these people in the Olympics that'll satiate the crowd. Man, Snoop has been destroying it every time I'm with Jack. Yeah. Every time this guy's on camera, he's great. Every single time. Makes you feel comfortable, too.
It does.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
All aboard for Real Yacht Rock Weekends. This summer on Real Radio 104.1.
iHeartRadio Olympics Update.
Team USA opened the day in Paris with a silver medal in the mixed triathlon relay. Taylor Knibb ran the anchor leg for the Americans, who came in just a second behind Germany.
I guess it's not over till it's over, so I had to just keep coming back. I'm shocked. They all said in the photo it looked like we got silver.
Also today, U.S. gymnast Simone Biles and Jordan Childs took silver and bronze in the women's floor exercise final.
For NBC's live coverage from Paris, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. A lot of rain on the way today and the possibility of flash flooding, even a tornado, as bands remain now departing Hurricane Debbie make landfall in the Panhandle. We're going to be on the south side of that. High temperatures today reaching the mid-80s with generally cloudy conditions and periodic downpours. Be sure to stay with the Fox 35 Storm Team for the latest. We're going to have conditions improving late tonight, but we could be in for the rain straight through midnight on this Monday.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Renewal by Andersen is having their end of summer sale, and it's hotter than the Florida sun. Renewal by Andersen's windows combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather, and that impact resistance adds a layer of safety for you and your family, especially now during hurricane season, right? Even more so if you live on Florida's coast. Plus, their products are backed by some of the strongest warranties you're going to find anywhere. Now through August 31st, receive $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors, plus zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Be one of the first 50 callers and receive a true scene screen upgrade. Again, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. Official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Guys, you know as well as I do, it's time to finally upgrade that bathroom in your house, whether it be their master bath, maybe your guest bath. It doesn't matter. Rebath of Mid-Florida is ready to come in and blow that thing apart and put a beautiful bathroom that you helped design in. That's right. Your ideas with their design team's ideas and their book of products, you can't lose. You're going to have a bathroom that fits any style that you could possibly imagine. If you don't believe me, drop by their showroom. There's some models there to show you. 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Very easy to find. And you will see 6, 7, 8, 9 models in there. And that's just to show you what their products look like configured in the different style bathrooms. Like I said, every bathroom is a custom bathroom at Rebath. Even better, if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, they're going to throw in $800 in upgrades. Use that how you will. And remember this as well. 4 to 6 days is the average replacement time. They do it with their team, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. Log on to the website, look at the before and after, see what they've actually done for people, including our buddy Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training, and you will be convinced because your new bathroom is right there in Altamont at rebathmidfla.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Big news for veterans and first-time homebuyers. The Hometown Heroes program provides up to $35,000 down payment and closing costs. Get pre-approved at thatmortgageguydon.com.
With thatmortgageguydon.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the 4th window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Beach Bum.
Hey, we're heading down to the beach. You coming?
Yeah, Dad. You coming?
I had a little too much to eat at the resort buffet. I need a minute. Oh, you overdid it. And now your beach vacation is giving you belly waves. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea,
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief so you can get back to making memories.
Let's go, Dad!
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Divorce? Call Trinley and Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is The Jim Colbert Show. Also available on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Just search The Jim Colbert Show.
Hey, Jimmy, do you remember a doll head being on the hitch? Which actually was for protecting the grease on the hitch. But also, coming out of the trunk would be a flopping arm.
Yes,
like somebody was trying to get out of the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
That was great in the 80s. Have a great day.
Thank
Evil
you.
Eye loves you.
Thank you. Also, the tiger tail. Remember that? What was it? Exxon that did that? Put a tiger in your tank thing, and you would, and you could get a like it was a tiger tail, and it had a little piece of like a rubber band or something, and you would put it in your gas cap, and then close the gas thing, and then you'd have a tiger in your tank.
I remember the ad campaign. I don't remember the tail.
Yeah, a little tail. Yeah. And then of course the most famous of all those is. And it's not necessarily hanging from your bumper, but the most famous of all of those accoutrements that you would put on your car to separate you from, everybody else is what? I mean, this is what I believe. I mean, the one that I saw that had the most impact over the longest period of time was this one.
Would it be truck nuts?
No, not truck nuts. Just something you put on your car to kind of...
The Calvin?
Yeah, the Calvin's one of them.
Oh, yeah. That's a big
the
one.
baby on board, right?
Oh, baby on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, the baby on board sign was incredible. That thing went crazy. And then, of course, everybody was like, weed on board or, Dr. Spock on board or whatever.
My favorite is the woman who had police come and knock on her front door because she didn't realize the wig in her trunk wasn't all the way in the trunk.
Oh, somebody thought they had a body in there?
So there were lots of 911 calls of someone being trapped in this woman's trunk, and she had to go and show the officers that it was just her wig, and everyone had a good laugh.
What a prank that would be.
Can you imagine?
To drive through.
I've called 911 on one of those cars before just to realiase it was a Halloween decoration.
My name is Deb, and I don't like it.
Right.
Hey, help them.
I'm yelling at a cloud.
Not my first time.
Welcome back. I'm Jim, Deb, and Jack are here as well. It's like during Halloween that it's crazy because people do because they banned a lot of that stuff, right? Like I know that during Christmas you can't put like Christmas lights on your car anymore, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you remember they used to rig up the lights and kind of wrap them around. Yeah, I don't believe you can do that anymore. I think it's illegal now.
I used to do that. I've had a wreath on the front of my car. My Cutlass Supreme.
Oh, my God.
I had a wreath that lit up. I also had a PA under the hood, too.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
you were 51 at 22?
Yeah. So I had a CB radio, but hooked up to the PA so I could, say things to anyone around.
Like what?
Merry Christmas. Nice ass. I used to like playing the beginning to Goodnight Saigon by Billy Joel. It comes in with helicopters coming in. So I would just hold it up, and it would because people would think there's helicopters coming around. It was great.
That's pretty darn good. That's a little bit better.
That's awesome, actually.
That's as good as my grandfather's air horn on his Econoline van.
Dude, I want a train horn on mine.
God, that's good old. That's just good old fashioned fun. My grandfather had a 500 psi air compressor in the back of his, and he used to use it to run tools and stuff. Then he hooked it up to this air horn, and he'd go flip it on, and I turned it on. It built up 100 pounds of pressure, and he'd hit that air horn. I'm like, and it sounded like a runaway double freighter from FedEx. Bicyclists just running into the ditches. It was great.
And for the longest time, I know everyone wanted the horn from Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yeah.
Generally.
Yeah. Was it Dixie? Yeah. Everybody remember that? Everybody had watches that would play that?
Yeah.
Back in the day, they'd play that, play Dixie and play something else, too. Yeah, they're little digital watches.
Yeah, Turkey in the Straw.
Yeah, those got banned about 5 seconds in the school year. Oh, my God, school's starting, too. We were up there in North Florida, and like all the schools are prepping. And you could feel the misery of the teachers already. Yeah. And not even students there. You could drive by and feel the overwhelming dread of teaching another year.
Gonna have to put vodka back in my coffee cup.
I'm trying to figure out if it's easier to teach in rural communities as it is to teach in, more urban communities. Because if you look, some of those rural communities, the schools really aren't that good. Like the education, up in Putnam, there's not that many people there, but, it's still like a C-level education as opposed to here in Orlando where it's like A or B. So, I would think it would be maybe a little bit more difficult because you know everybody.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that when you're personal with something like that, it's hard to make business decisions.
Yeah.
If that's your student and it just happens to be your Sunday school teacher's son, it's hard to get direct with them. You don't want it to ruin a relationship. I don't know. All right,
it's a challenge. I suppose they're dealing with less funds because less taxes going towards the school. So when you're kind of at a disadvantage there, you're trying to make do with what you have, trying to attract good teachers into a rural setting.
That's tough, because nobody wants to live out there. There's no internet. I'm just telling you, there's no internet. There's no phone signal. We would have to drive to get a phone signal. It just got to the point where they have a little bit of Wi-Fi, and thank God we're with Code Black, who scaled the telephone pole and plugged into their Wi-Fi and then zip tied an extender to that thing so everybody in our group could at least have a little trinkling of Wi-Fi to watch movies and stuff at night.
Isn't that his patented move? Doesn't he do that every year now?
It's so great, man. It's so great. He brings about 500 feet of Cat 5 cable wherever he goes.
Really?
And he brings this massive what they call access point. And he just finds out where it is and wires it and then kind of buries it a little bit and runs it to our campsite. And everybody within 100 feet or so has, pretty damn good Wi-Fi.
That's awesome.
So you can watch stuff. He does stuff like that all the time. He's crazy as hell.
So you went camping, but you still didn't disconnect.
Well,
that's too difficult to do, though, right?
It is too difficult to do. When you're laying in the camper at night and, you're just laying there.
Listening to crickets.
Listening to that and the overwhelming scream of the AC just trying to keep up because, 1,000 degrees. And those campers aren't very insulated. They write that on there. Oh, they're not. It goes, if you were to turn the AC off, it would go from 72 to 104 in, a minute and a half. Oh yeah. It's no joke. It is. You might as well live in a breezeway.
So you got to sleep with,
it's just constant 4 straight days of, imagine a window unit running for 4 straight days.
And there was a pretty sweet white noise, though.
Yeah, it never cycled off. And the first thing you do in a camper in the summer and fall is you walk in and you turn it down to 5. You never want it turning off. If it freezes up, so be it. We'll go to somebody else's camper. You're not rolling the dice of it being anything over 72 in there. It's miserable.
So Outdoorsy is the app that you go to.
Outdoorsy is the greatest. Yeah, because you just called up and go, hey, we're going to be here these dates to this date. We need a 24-footer that can sleep this many people. Go set it up. And we just show up. And
literally, seriously? You just show up and it's already set up for you?
Fridge is cold. The AC's already on. They usually give you a little welcoming gift, which is sometimes like a cheap bottle of wine and some cheese and crackers.
It's like a mobile Airbnb.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. They even set up the grill for us and a mat and the chairs. We literally walked onto the property, put our stuff in the camper, and started camping. It took us 30 seconds to load our stuff in, and we were there.
But is it camping? It doesn't seem like enough work to be camping.
It's not.
That's the great thing about it because I love to go camping.
Oh, my God.
But driving an RV, knowing how to
all that sucks.
Empty the tanks, gas,
all of it
paying
sucks.
for it, storing it.
What if something goes wrong?
Yeah, it's all covered.
Yeah.
If
you just make a call.
If it's your fault, of course, if you ruin something, if you leave the gas on or if you do something stupid, that's
that
on
was
you.
Code Black. I didn't do that.
That's on you. But if the camper leaks or has any, something like that, you just call them. Matter of fact, a couple in our group had a problem with theirs, and most of the time the people live near, so they just drove over and fixed it and then left.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you don't have to really worry about that.
So this business probably has a bunch of different, franchises or whatever, like in different areas all around, I would guess.
No different than Craigslist. You just go to a list, what area you're in, zip code-wise, where you're staying, and it'll have it on the list whether or not they serve that area. What do you need? Do you have pets? No smoking. And then the campground, really, you don't even have to worry about the people because the campground then charges you for how many people are staying there. Because when you sign in, like my camper would have slept 6, but we're only 2 of us there, so we only get charged for 2 people, even though our camper sleeps 6.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, it was a tiny camper. Trust me, sleeping 6 is nothing. That'd be like saying this room could sleep 20, and because it could theoretically. You don't want to be in here when there's 20 people in here, but you can do it. All right, 407-916. 1041. Text us 77031. Before we get to sports at the top of the hour, I have something to ask you. This is an old school something, and I want to know if it has any application to what you guys think now, or if you've ever even heard of this term. We'll do that next.
Smell that? It's almost football season. Hear the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season here on Real Radio 104.1, courtesy of Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Still seeing a bit of slow traffic on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area between the Beach Line and 535. No delays to report, however, for those traveling westbound on the interstate. Traffic looking great north and southbound along Florida's Turnpike. If you do run into traffic problems this afternoon, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Staples Store. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are just 50 cents each at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. In-store only, offer ends 8/24, limit 10. Save big on back to school at Staples.
Guys, let me tell you something. It's time to be a hero. Get over to our friends over at Life Imaging FLA and get that scan. And more importantly, man, if you know somebody that really could use this, get them over there for sure. My wife and I, of course, we went over to Life Imaging FLA. We got our scans. It turned out to be great. My wife's was perfectly clean, no problems. Mine was clean as well when it comes to my heart. And, of course, that's what we're looking at. But there were other issues that the scan picked up. I took that information to my primary care doctor, and we started building a plan immediately, got those issues handled. Here's the cool thing. It didn't sneak up on me. And that's what we really worry about. And that's why we say early detection saves lives. And that's the number one reason we got our in-laws over and got their scans as well. I was standing right there when my wife got that call. When her mom got the results, she was fine. Dad was fine. Everybody's good. That relief is impossible to ignore, and you can have that as well. And remember, you don't take our clothes off, no dyes, no injections. This entire thing only takes a few minutes. Don't wait. Do what I did. Get with Life Imaging at FLA right now. Get that heart scan. It's free. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And while you're there, ask about the cancer screening as well. It's easy to make your appointment. Simply pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250. Say the keyword free heart scan. That's pound 250. Say that keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make that call. Make 2024 the year you finally take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Worried about buying or selling your home? Don't be. The Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty does real estate differently. With buying and selling solutions faster than you could say, more tape? Nationally ranked and locally loved, TNG sells homes 2 times faster for an average of over 20,000 more. So ditch the stress ball. Check out the Nickley Group's over 3,000 5-star reviews. Get a guaranteed cash offer for your home today. Visit thenickley.com.
I'm Mo DeWitt, and the Just Call Mo Comedy Jam is back. Join us Thursday, September 5th at the Orlando Funny Bone. And remember, it's all for the Yellow Brick Road Foundation, a great local charity. Tickets start at just $20. Get yours today at mocomedyjam.com.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
Ah!
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Cam found out that group chats between different phones aren't private.
Or encrypted.
Thank you. We only text in code.
Yes, which I created. I created a code.
Yes. Which can be a little annoying.
Wait, was that your attempt at the code?
You already forgot the code, didn't you?
I should have written it down.
The place to safely send messages between different devices. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
you've got a Pepto predicament, beach bum.
Hey, we're heading down to the beach. You coming?
Yeah, Dad, you coming?
I had a little too much to eat at the resort buffet. I need a minute. Oh, you overdid it. And now your beach vacation is giving you belly waves. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief so you can get back to making memories.
Let's go, Dad!
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time's running out. Please text the 2 letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. This is the Jim Colbert Show, also available on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Just search The Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. Want to leave us a talk back? You can do that. Get that iHeartRadio app. It's free and awesome, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Once you get it, go to Real Radio. You'll see a little microphone there. Use that to send your comment to Jack. Matter of fact, you can do it over and over until you get it perfect.
You can. You listen back.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you re-record, you send it.
And then you send. And then you're on the radio. Superstar. Contract on the way.
Yep.
Don't sign it.
Welcome back. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
I am.
Did you guys get any, you get bad weather over in your place? Over the weekend, really bad?
Not really bad. We had a quick storm that came through, like a feeder band, I believe it was, on Saturday, and then a little more steady rain starting, early evening on Sunday throughout the night.
Did you have the blustery winds? A lot of debris around the neighborhood, or no?
I've noticed some palms down and some branches here and there, but very light.
Got it.
Very light.
I was surprised by the amount of tree stuff that was down on the roads just after that strong thunderstorm rolled through yesterday afternoon.
Same here. We got quite a bit of that around our property as well. Matter of fact, the power company just left our property, trimming up around the power lines that go back to feed the house next to me and my house.
Which is why, when something comes off the Gulf, Sumter, Lake counties are going to get it before Orange, Seminole.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened in this case.
Thanks for the buffer.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And more's coming tomorrow, by the way. I mean, it's not this thing is clearing out. It is. Of course, it's going up in the Panhandle, up in through Georgia. They're expecting some really awful weather up in Savannah and Charleston.
I know. I can't. I feel really bad because when
we're talking 30 inches of rain or
30
something.
inches. They're going to say that this is going to be an historic flooding event for the low country of South Carolina specifically. And when we visited in January, we found out how much of an issue it is to park in downtown historic Charleston. There's not a lot of spots, but it turns out it's not really finding a spot that matters. It's knowing what happens when it rains.
Really, it's finding a higher spot, huh?
Because they get just a regular afternoon thunderstorm, and you wouldn't believe the amount of people who said, well, my car is destroyed. I got 12 inches of water in my car.
Yeah, no
and
way.
And now they're expecting anywhere from 24 to 30 inches of rain in Charleston and Savannah as well.
Can you imagine being in the neighborhood where that hag poured that concrete down her drain?
Oh, yeah, they're dealing with her.
And now just a light rain fills that entire cul-de-sac of that area up, and now this thing comes around.
This is a woman who had a drainage area come through her yard, right? Or
She claimed it did.
Adjacent to her yard.
And she says she didn't approve it, and because she did not approve it, she didn't want it there.
And it was draining from a community and that's handled not by the government but by the owner of the development. I believe. Right.
Yeah. So now she poured concrete down there, and she warned everybody she was going to do it.
Right.
But the funny thing is because I guess they can't do anything to her legally because of where the drain is or something. It's like is on her property, so she has the ability to do that if she wanted to. I mean, I don't think any charge has been pressed.
Wow.
No fines have been levied, I don't believe, have they?
Well, Florida woman, this is from Fox 35. This is from July 10th of this year, saying that she does face a lawsuit and code violation after filling the storm drain with concrete.
Yeah, man, that is.
Shadow Bay neighborhood of Longwood.
And by the way, she said, and she's defiant. Like, she still is defiant AF, apparently has not been very... has not been sorry about this at all. Has not really shown any remorse for her actions whatsoever.
Now, keep in mind, this was from July 10th. And in this Fox 35 story, it said that residents mark the third time the streets have flooded like this in just the past few weeks. One neighbor could wind up owing thousands of dollars because of it.
That's right. So terrible.
Diane Goggles told Fox 35 News, quote, I filled in the 2 manholes and that broken pipe because I didn't want any more erosion on my property, end quote.
All right, there you go. So the entire neighborhood now has to pay because of her ignorance and her selfishness. And unbelievable. I wouldn't be able to control myself there. That'd be a bad scene for me. I get angry reading about it.
Same here.
Then legally she comes out on top.
Exactly.
Right?
And then legally you do something stupid and she sues you, or you get in trouble legally or criminally, and then you're the bad guy. Even though she caused the initial problem, you're the bad guy. Yeah, it's fine, but man, it's so terrible. And now yeah.
She sent a letter to her neighbors in March.
Yeah, she told everybody.
Not just that, but also saying that she believed a drain pipe was installed on her property without her permission. She also asked for compensation from her neighbors for water moving across her property, saying, quote, I advise you of this because once I close that pipe off, you will have a drain problem that will back up on the road and on your property, end quote. In April, she sealed the pipe. In June, neighbors started feeling the effects.
She warned them.
Yeah. And didn't it also say that she, I think after an investigation, it not only showed it wasn't on her property, but it was put there before she got there or something?
That's what I believe is the situation, is that it was not put there without her permission on her property. I believe it already existed before she even bought the home.
Oof. Man, oh, man.
Now, court records show that Shadow Bay's HOA is suing her over this. And the secretary of the HOA, again, this is back on July 10th, said that the flooding, quote, presents a clear threat to life and safety, end quote.
Somebody just texted and said her deed plot actually shows a drainage easement on her property.
So she knew about it before she moved in.
So, yeah.
That's all kinds of problems for her.
Not good. If this is an indicator, is this the appetizer, this little storm we're having here, Debbie? Is this the appetizer for what's going to be a very interesting storm season? Since we've already had a big one come through, now we've had this giant rainmaker, and then I noticed
it's only 4 out of the 24 or 25 that they're predicting, so we've got another 20 to go.
Yeah. What were you going to chime in?
I believe, are you on Kin Insurance?
Yes.
Yeah, I just got a text from them. They're saying, Kin Insurance here. Hoping you're safe after the storm. How are you doing? Please reply. Safe, no damage, evacuated, damage unknown, or need to file a claim.
Do they also have emojis of fingers crossed?
Right, exactly.
Hey, it's Ken, just trying to check in and see when we can file bankruptcy.
Is it too soon to tell them safe, no damage?
Yeah, tell them no. Or make them wait and sweat it out. No, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't want to be on their radar for anything.
Yeah. So we're in the middle of what my grandmother used to talk about all the time right now. And it was so funny because when my grandmother talked about these times, I would always get this weird feeling. And I was always a little bit more aware of my surroundings because you made it sound so ominous. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Dog days of summer?
It's the dog days of summer, dude. When my grandmother started talking about the dog days of summer, and I knew it as like the end of July going into like the middle of August. I thought it was like August 12th or 14th or something when it kind of comes to an end.
July 3rd to August 11th this year. That's according to the Old Farmer's Almanac.
And the thing, I didn't know that it was that long. I thought the dog days of summer was just like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then we were looking at it, and like you said, it started like July 3rd. What it is, it's the hottest point of the year, like after the summer or right at the summer equinox. Is that what it is?
Yep.
And then you have those days where that is the hottest days. Well, the good news is, theoretically, after, in a couple days, 10 days or so, theoretically, we should be swinging back the other way.
It has to do with the days of the dog star. That's when the star Sirius would appear in the sky. Just before the sun near the end of July, that marked the beginning of the very hottest days of the year.
We were not allowed to swim during the dog days of summer.
Really?
We're not allowed to swim during the dog days. We weren't allowed to do a number of things through the dog days of summer. Because for some reason, my grandmother, who was not superstitious, I mean, she started a Pentecostal church, to give you an idea.
Right.
I mean, you cannot be more strict Christian than they were. She was. But she believed in this dog day thing like it was written in stone, like it was one of the commandments. She believed in it. I mean, we had to adhere to the dog day rules. No swimming. That means ocean or lakes.
Really? During the hottest days of the summer?
Because that's when the amoebas come alive.
Oh, okay.
See, there's science there.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what she said. I mean, we were not allowed to swim during the dog days. We couldn't eat certain things, but I can't remember what it was. But there were certain things we weren't allowed to eat. And we were not allowed to be outside all that long during the dog days. In other words, be out in the sun. We were supposed to stay shaded and not play as much.
It's funny you say that because I read an article last week that talked about the 4 activities ER physicians wouldn't allow their children to do. And you basically just named like a couple of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, swimming was one of them. Doing anything near a lawnmower. But the heat is a much bigger deal. And they say that children don't recover from heat stroke or heat illness as quickly as adults do. It hits children and elderly a little bit harder.
I would think that they're probably less cognizant that it's happening.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like dogs.
Yeah, you're out there, you're just driving yourself crazy. And as a kid, you're just running, having a good time. You're just hot and breathing hard. As an adult, oh, that's death. That's just death knocking on the door. And by the way, we carried our dog with us this trip, and we rarely let them out and run around during the day because we did it that first day. And we were on one side of a field, about a 100-yard field, and the other campers on the other. So it was that run back and forth. Man, that first run, she came over, and she wouldn't cool off. She wouldn't stop panting. So we started putting some water on her stuff. She wouldn't stop panting. We took her in the AC. It took her half an hour, just sitting in the AC of one of the campers to finally cool down and stop panting. We're like, no more for you, man.
And that was just one little run.
That's just one run across a field when it's 98 degrees outside. She's a little bitty thing, so for every one step of mine, it's 3 or 4 of hers.
Right.
So it was not good.
Nope.
Yeah, not good. Did you guys have to deal with the dog days of summer? I don't think it's a northern thing, Jack. You probably didn't hear much about it in Jersey.
No, I remember always hearing the expression. I don't remember the first time I heard the expression, but I just think, it never affected any behavior in my family that I'm aware of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, man, we had not a whole bunch. We've had about 4 or 5 things that we had to pay attention to. My grandmother would remind us as if it was Easter season. She'd be like, hey, it's dog days. It's dog days now. Y'all got to pay attention, dog days. And she would use that. She would wield that. And the thing that sucked about dog days, I knew that school was coming.
That's true.
Right after the dog days of summer, school would always start. Because back then, you would start right after Labor Day. So it would be right there at the beginning of September. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. Take a little break. Back with our buddy Brandon Kravitz. Talk some sports next here on the Jim Colbert Show.
You can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Traffic is looking a bit slow on I-4 eastbound this afternoon between the Beach Line and 535. No major westbound delays to report for those traveling through the Brevard County area this afternoon. Traffic looking great north and southbound on Florida's Turnpike. No delays east or westbound on the 408. If you do see any traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by WhatsApp.
Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, John. Big news for veterans and first-time home buyers. The Hometown Heroes program provides up to $35,000 down payment and closing costs. Get pre-approved at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, Chief Marketing Officer of Hyundai Motor America, discusses measuring audio.
The measurement capability within audio, I think, surprised all of us, but all of it's been extremely helpful, and we have seen a huge return on our investment. The methodology by which we're approaching audio and then seeing the real results with real numbers has helped us continue to invest moving forward. One of the things that's been really important for us is to see the extension of reach to new audiences that we could not really speak to before. We get about a 20% lift adding audio to our overall portfolio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a marketing company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
This is the sound of real people across Florida betting on sports. It's the sound of winning your bet, only on Hard Rock Bet. And if your first bet doesn't win, you get up to $100 back to try again. Hard Rock Bet is Florida's only legal sports book. Your home for betting hoops for any sport you choose. Download Hard Rock Bet now and get 2 shots at your first bet. Win, or you'll get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
From the team behind Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanished comes a brand new investigative true crime podcast, Flashpoint. Listen as they explore the homegrown terrorism threat through the lens of the Atlanta Olympic bombing and its aftermath.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Listen to Flashpoint on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Flashpoint to start listening.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Hey there, folks. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes here from the Amy and TJ podcast.
That's right. We are bringing you the tea from Perry every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, tea from Perry. I don't know if we're married to that name, but the point is, we'll tell you what's going on. We'll tell you what's hot, what's not.
Bottom line, everything you need to know that's going on in Paris during the 2024 games, you're going to get it from us.
Listen to Amy and TJ on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Amy and TJ and start listening.
New South Window Solutions. Made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. Yeah. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to The Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. If you'd like to leave a talk back, you could do that as well. Get that iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it, and use that mic to send it on down the line. If you're out there driving around, the weather's bad. Be careful, please. We need every single one of you guys tuned in.
Yeah, we do.
For sure. Not at the bottom of a lake or up against a wall, please. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well. I am. Every Monday at 4:20, we invite this guy over. 96.9 The Game is where he lives. They talk sports from 3 until 6 every day. But he breaks up a little time for us, comes over and deals us a bit. Give it up good and loud for the broiler, BK, Mr. Brandon Kravitz. From 96.9 The Game.
Mr. Big Announcement. Yeah, I'll get to that. You think I'm just going to breeze by the fact that Jim goes, please don't die. We need the ratings.
Look, man, drive safely. We need everybody listening.
Yeah. We want your podcast downloads so we can't have you dying on the road.
He ain't kidding now.
That's a commitment to the job.
That's right.
We did have a big announcement in the last segment. O.J. McDuffie, Dolphins legend, was on my show just moments ago. He was phenomenal, and we announced that we are the new radio home in Orlando for the Miami Dolphins.
Yay! And we're locking it up here at iHeart. We're with the Bucks, and you guys are the Dolphins,
exactly. And we appreciate the partnership with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for all of those years, and they're not going far.
They're not.
Just down the hallway. But this was an opportunity that the station just couldn't pass up.
And what a coup, man. I mean, they signed Tua. Now I know that there's some other stuff happening with the Dolphins. I mean, they got a lot of juice going into this season. That's quite a get for you guys.
Definitely. It's a fun, I think at any point getting Miami and being the radio home in your city in Florida of the Miami Dolphins is a big deal because they just have the biggest fan base in the state. They've been around the longest. It's a legacy thing. They had those great years with the undefeated team in the 70s. They had Dan Marino. So they created fans. They just
generational legacy.
Yeah, exactly. Of fans. It's a head start over where Jacksonville and Tampa are. It's nothing against them. They just haven't built the legacy that the Miami Dolphins have been fortunate enough to do. There was a time, and this predates me, but there was a time when if you wanted to be an NFL fan and cheer for a team in the state of Florida, you had one option. And so there were a lot of fans that weren't just in South Florida, that cheer for the Miami Dolphins. And we know how that works. If your dad or mom is a fan of the team, you get sort of born into fandom.
Yeah, chances are you're going to be there, yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with me. The only reason why I'm not a Baltimore Ravens fan is because they weren't around when my family left Baltimore. So my dad was a season ticket holder for the Baltimore Colts.
Right.
And they left, I think it was a year before I was born. So for the first few years of my life, my dad was so heartbroken over their exit. It was like the NFL didn't exist. I grew up just thinking it was baseball. It was the Baltimore Orioles, Cal Ripken,
and that's
all there was.
Right.
And then we moved down to South Florida. I went, what is this? All this college football. Who am I supposed to cheer for?
Right, exactly.
And I started going to Dolphins games, and that's how I became a Miami Dolphins fan. But yeah, this stuff is absolutely generational.
That's great, man.
And we're excited to have them on board. Definitely.
Congrats. I guess I should be a Dallas Cowboys fan. My stepdad that's who I started watching football with. He was a big Dallas Cowboys fan, but then I rebelled.
You don't want to be a D-bag. So.
And so I became a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. I showed them. And then
yeah, don't change now, because the whole reason that Real Radio is home of the Tampa Bay Bucks is because you like them.
I know. I love them.
We got them for you.
Right, and I appreciate that very much. And I listen, Deckerhoff, I go back days, years. It's a long time.
He's the best.
He is. Yeah. Gene is the best. And he's one of the reasons I was a Florida State fan instead of a Gator fan, because all the Gator fans were douchebags. I didn't want to be that guy. So I was a Florida State guy. Now I don't care either way. I can't stand college football. It doesn't matter. Although I know a big announcement today, though.
Yeah, college football, the top 25, and you're right. I probably have been so wrapped up in the excitement of what we've been talking about that I haven't even looked at it.
Oh, you haven't really?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I just saw who the preseason number one was. I don't know that it's much of a secret. Did you see it?
UCF, baby.
Yeah, it's UCF.
That's right. No, this is the coaches poll that's been released right now. I think the AP comes out tomorrow. That's the official preseason ranking. But
which is more dependable, though? Do you trust the coaches or the AP?
The AP. I don't think coaches actually vote, and even if they did, I wouldn't trust them because they're not watching anything but their own team. Why the coaches even get a vote? I want to know the actual percentage of coaches that submit their own ballot.
Right.
Because I think most of them are just handing it off to an assistant going, they asked me to fill this out.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to. So a coach that's worried about recruiting and the transfer portal and now NIL and coaching the team that you have and your first opponent at the end of the year, they're like breaking down Utah at number 13.
They're not going to go, you know what? I think Texas Tech looks good at 17. How about you guys? Anybody? No,
yeah. But with 46 first-place votes, I'm assuming that's going to carry over to the AP poll tomorrow, and I think Georgia will be the number one team. So it goes Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama in the top 5. FSU is at number 10, and then Miami at 19. Those are the only teams inside the state.
There you go. I mean, still, it's kind of what everybody expected. I don't think there's going to be a lot of jockeying positions inside that top 5,
Yeah, and, this kind of stuff is just – it's hype before the season. A preseason ranking is really, when you think about it on the surface, one of the most ridiculous things that we can get into in this business. You're judging how good a team is before we ever watch them play.
Just based on what they got for the through the portal?
I mean, pretty much. You're judging a team based off of star rankings, a little bit of what they did the year before. It's all projections. It's kind of nonsense, but that's the world of college football. I wish that they did it after, I would say, you don't have to go too deep into the season. I think 4 weeks in, unveil your first ranking. There's a reason why the college football playoff ranking, they actually do wait until halfway through the season. They feel like they have enough of a sample size. But what I don't like is that we're all humans at the end of the day. And these college football playoff committees, they see the rankings, they're watching games, and even if you don't stare at the rankings, you watch the game, you see an Oregon team play, they've got a number 2 next to their name, that gets inserted into your mind. Mm-hmm. And what does that create? Bias. And so you end up seeing a college football playoff ranking that's almost identical to what the AP ranking is, and I just wish that we kind of started from scratch at a point in the year where you actually knew who was good and who wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think that they have how many weeks before they start really kind of lining it up for the
college football playoff? I think they wait until like week 6.
Yeah, if I remember, I thought it was week 5 or 6, something like that. Yeah. What else is out there, man?
Yeah, so you guys, I don't know how deep we can go into Olympics, but of course,
we
everything
can, because Jack has coming up right after you.
Okay. Then the Olympics are happening. They've been fun. People are winning gold. Others winning silvers.
Spoiler.
And some even declaring as a bronze.
Oh, you son.
We've won so many bronzes. I asked Jack the other day, I'll ask you this. You love questions like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, talk
Let's
to me.
say we win the total medal count. Let's say we end up with 100 medals, right?
Yep.
But we are like 4th or 5th in gold medals. Do you feel we still won?
Absolutely.
You feel that way, huh?
Yeah.
Total medal count means more than gold?
I have had this thought already, so I've got an answer that is cocked, locked, and ready to go.
There we go.
All right. It's not about how many golds you win. It's about what you win gold in. I'm sorry, I just don't care if you won gold in air rifle shooting. It doesn't weight the same as these legacy sports. Winning gold in judo does not mean the same as winning gold in swimming or gymnastics or basketball or track and field. Those are the events that if you are the country that's winning gold, I don't care if
I would take basketball out of there then. I mean, take basketball out of there,
Just
because here's the thing: you need an infrastructure to play basketball. Let's just break it down to the real. I mean, athletics. I mean, can you run faster, jump higher, run longer? Do those things, right? I mean, that's swim faster, swim longer. I mean, really, if
you take basketball out of it, let's also say if let's say Japan runs away with the gold count because they got 8 golds in breakdancing, I don't care. It's not impressive. To me, it's all about.
It doesn't hit you as the same as 8 golds in swimming or track.
No, so that's where like
skateboarding. No, okay.
Don't worry about the gold. Now, the medal count absolutely matters. How many medals you have, period, end of sentence. That is the most important thing. If you want to start breaking down the type of medals that you have, gold, silver, bronze, then you have to go to the subcategories, okay? If you're on the website, the medal count website, you can click on the country. It'll give you the breakdown of what they're winning those medals in. That's what matters.
I would push back on that. If you win, let's say you had 100 medals, and everybody's like, how many golds you have? We had 1. Yeah, we had 27 silvers and 65 bronzes. You think that's a win? You think other countries look at you as a dominant force if you come home with 65 bronzes and 2 golds? I got bad news for you, dog. That doesn't hold up.
But you're painting a scenario that's just not going to happen. If you run away from the field in medals, you're probably going to be like 3rd or 4th in golds.
Maybe we had a bad run. Maybe we had a bad run.
You're just out here racking up 75 bronze medals.
Maybe we haven't asked enough of ourselves this particular Olympics.
My question to you guys.
We're just doing our very best.
If we're going random Olympic questions, I was watching a little bit of the horse dancing yesterday. I don't know what you call that event, but that was
dressage.
Fascinating to watch. The name of it was on the screen, although I thought maybe it was the name of the horse, so I wasn't sure what the cryon was telling me. But,
horse dancing is great.
If
both
you
horses are named dressage. Yeah. I don't get it.
Okay, so that's not what the event is called.
Yeah,
Got
it is dressage.
So if you win a medal in equestrian, does the horse get a medal?
The horse does not get a medal.
That's ridiculous.
Why would you ask questions like that? Look,
the horse is doing the work.
There's other drama we're going to talk about later as well when the Olympics.
So I'm watching this woman sitting on a horse, and she looked like she was probably good at her job, very prim and proper. But she's just sitting there.
Be careful.
She's sitting there, and this horse is dancing.
Yeah.
And it's how they get them to do it. It's terrible.
So I know that somebody was disqualified because they were whipping their horse.
Oh, yeah. Is that what it was?
Is this a common practice in equestrian?
Is that a metaphor in equestrian?
That is a topic for a later segment on the Real Radio Jim Colbert Show.
All right.
You want to talk about NFL preseason? Sure. I have 3 things that I'll be watching for in the preseason. Number 1 is fantasy scouting. This is the main reason to watch the preseason is to scout fantasy football sleepers and rookies. Okay, that's number 1.
This sounds like fishing in a video game. This sounds you're scouting preseason.
I'm scouting.
Okay.
I turn into a full-blown scout.
Okay.
I am not kidding. This is not an exaggeration for radio purposes. I record every single preseason game, and I will watch it with the clicker in my hand.
Clicker, so old school.
And I don't call it a clicker other than this particular instance where I'm using it as a clicker as if I'm teaching a class.
That's what it's called. It's not called the remote. That's the
I call it the remote. But for this instance, it's a clicker because I'm just clicking. I skip the commercials. If there's a team that doesn't play anybody, like the LA teams, you can't watch them. They don't play a soul that matters in the preseason. So you got to click through them. But that's what you're watching for. Watch every single game and just make sure that you're it's a lot of garbage. It's kind of like think about watching preseason is like going to the beach and watching the person with the metal detector.
Yeah.
They mostly find yogurt lids.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But every once in a while, they're the ones.
And they'll find that quarter.
Who are going to find the gold. Okay? And that is what we are searching for. So that's thing number 1. Thing number 2 is I want to first look at these quarterbacks. There were 6 taken in the first round of the NFL draft. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix, and Bo Nix. Those are the guys. Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels are almost assured to get their jobs. Caleb with the Bears, Jaden Daniels with the Commanders. Drake May with the Patriots is actually most likely not going to win his job. He's going to have to be excellent in the preseason. Jacoby Brissett, for whatever reason, is the guy they're going to roll with. Michael Penix was drafted top 10 from the team that signed Kirk Cousins. That was the big story coming out of the draft. But how good does Penix look? Does he put any pressure on that situation? And then Bo Nix. Bo Nix has a real opportunity. He was out of Oregon, got drafted by the Denver Broncos. He was the last of the quarterbacks taken. And there is that thought that this is a second-round player that got pushed up into round 1 because Sean Payton desperately wanted to get his next quarterback. So how good does he look? How bad does he look? That's number 2. Any thoughts before I move on to number 3, which I think you'll have questions about?
No, go ahead.
A continued look at the new kickoff rule.
Okay.
So we got our first look at the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, and I can't say I'm a huge fan of it so far. So these teams, the way that it lines up, no longer do you have that big running start from that feels like an NFL kickoff.
The kickoff, right, exactly.
Exactly, like the kickoff you've known your whole life.
Sure, yeah.
Is no longer. So now those players that are on the kicking team are lining up on the 35 of the other side of the field. The receiving team is lining up on the 30. There's 5 yards of separation, so no one's around the kicker. And those players that are on the kicking team cannot move until the kick returner catches the football. Then it's a play.
That sounds like crap.
And it is set up to be more safe and to bring kickoffs back into the game because most kickers just boot it out of the back of the end zone.
They just don't want the defense get a running 20-mile-an-hour start.
They don't want the running.
People, right?
They don't want the running start because of safety issues, and they want to bring kickoffs back into the game. As cool as that kickoff was, what it usually led to was nothing.
Yeah.
Because these kickers have become so good at booting it out of the back of the end zone. Now that's heavy. You can still do that, but it's just penalized heavier than it was in the past.
Right.
So you are now most likely going to see the ball in play, and we saw that in the Hall of Fame game, and you're like, okay, well, that sounds kind of cool because now kickoffs are back. Nothing happened. These guys got tackled immediately because the players that are going after them are already right there.
They're right there, but wouldn't that also – I'm not defending it because it sounds so corny.
It looks corny. That's the thing.
It sounds very XFL-ish.
That's where they got it from.
And I'm not it sounds just kind of dopey. Like I'm more of a tradition person, but if you break out of the pack, as a receiver of one of those kicks and you make a big play, it's going to be very interesting because you have to jock the kicker. That's it, right? Because the kicker would be the only person in the backfield, theoretically.
Once you get through that line of defense, because they have to, it's not like you can send guys back in coverage. They have to be lined up where everybody else is. If you get past that group, you're off and running. I do think we're going to see more kickoff returns, and I also wonder if teams are going to look at their star players and say, now that this is a safer play, I want to have the Miami Dolphins. Let's throw Tyreek Hill back there and let's see if you can catch him.
Yeah.
And if teams do that, then it could be fun. It could also get ridiculous if it's too easy. At first glance, it did look corny. Didn't like it. And so I'm curious to see what it looks like as we get better talent on the field.
Sometimes you have to actually, put it into effect to see what you're dealing with. And with the OG XFL 2001, where they were lining up each 10 yards off the ball, and they would race each other for the ball.
That was a bad idea.
The very first kickoff for the Orlando Rage, our guy broke his collarbone.
Yeah. It was. We couldn't believe it happened. Like when you see it happen in real time, and you're 20 yards from it as a sideline reporter, and you see those dudes. And by the way, the XFL shape guy, same shape as the NFL guy. Maybe he doesn't have the same skill set, not as fast, whatever. Same build, same destructive manner.
Yeah.
And you
same
see those
steroids.
You see those guys diving for a ball from opposite directions at full speed. It was horrifying, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean that was a Vince McMahon creation. Nobody who knows football would have put that into practice.
Yeah, and only people that have a John Waters mustache would do something like that, which he has now. What a villain.
He really has turned into an exaggerated version of his exaggerated character on TV.
He turned into his character. We only have a few minutes because we have Jack's Olympic update, but I do want to ask you, what did I want to ask you?
About Tyreek Hill?
No, it wasn't about Tyreek Hill. It was something else, and
it was not football. It was basketball.
No, once they implement this rule, is this like they have to maintain it for one season, then they re-vote on it? Is that what's going to happen basically? Or they give it a couple seasons?
They're not going to ditch this in the middle of the year. It would have to be horrific.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the rule, and it looks goofy.
Yeah,
it does. I kind of wish that my idea in watching it was, let's just do the original kickoff at the beginning of the game. That way we still have the kickoff.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
And then go to this play later.
Yeah, I guess.
because it was to start the game that way. It was kind of a big fat dud.
You can already hear the wah, wah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they could put him just a little bit not as far down the field. Maybe start him at the midfield, or maybe at the.
If you
40.
haven't watched it, just YouTube. If you just
check it
YouTube
out.
XFL kickoff, it'll be the first thing that plays. It's like a 90-second video.
Yeah.
By the way, Tyreek Hill did sign an extension. That was the thing. That was the other thing I was going to share with you.
Yeah.
3 years, $90 million. So now the Dolphins are pot committed to Tua, it's a 4-year deal that he signed, but they have an out after 3 years. That's the sneaky part of the deal. Jalen Waddle, they signed a couple months ago, 3-year deal. And Tyreek Hill now, this past weekend, 3-year deal. The Dolphins are telling you with their bank account.
Yeah, they're all done. They're in. They're all
3
in.
years. They got 3 years to get it done. And so I think Mike McDaniel's seat, not hot, but it's warmed up a little bit because you got 3 years to get it done. That sounds like a long time until you're a year or two in.
All right, good job, BK. Good seeing you.
Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. on 96.9 The Game and Real Radio 104.1. Extended versions available by searching Under Oath with Jeff Kaufman on your favorite streaming platform.
Good and loud for Brandon Kravitz.
Yay! Woohoo!
Back to the cave with you.
Yes. Also, Fantasy Sleepers Part 1 and Part 2 on my individual podcast feed. That's the Zoneheads podcast if you want 10 Fantasy Sleepers.
Very nice. Go get him, man. All right, Brandon Kravitz, 96.9 The Game. Back in a sec with Jack's Olympic update.
10.
Jack's Olympic update. Coming up next on the Jim Colbert Show.
iHeartRadio Olympics update.
Team USA fell just shy of bringing home gold in the inaugural mixed team skeet final.
But Coach C finishes the job and Italy caps the shooting competition.
The duo of Vincent Hancock and Austin Smith managed to hit 44 targets but came up one short of the Italians. Hancock now a 5-time Olympic medalist, while it's the second of these games for Smith.
For NBC's live coverage from Paris, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
What's going on in Central Florida? Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. The impacts of Debbie pulling away tonight. Still a couple of showers through the evening. Tomorrow, gusty winds out of the west, 10 to 25 miles an hour. A couple of showers in the afternoon, but not too much outside of a typical August afternoon. All the rain from this will go up into South Carolina and Georgia, where 2 feet or more of rain at the peak will fall over the next few days. Could be some major flooding in coastal South Carolina and Georgia from Debbie.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
Can you believe kids are already going back to school? And while it's hard to admit, that means another allergy season is just around the corner. Studies show that kids with allergies have a hard time concentrating in school and have more absences than those without allergies. Aspire Allergy and Sinus has helped thousands, including children, with their kid-friendly allergy testing and pain-free allergy drops. So what are you waiting for? Set your appointment today at Aspire Allergy and Sinus and find a solution for the whole family. Go to aspireallergy.com today. That's aspireallergy.com.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny Final Expense Insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your Insurance Super App. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
With over 100 million albums sold, 20 #1 hits, and 10 #1 albums, an evening of icons, an unforgettable night of classic hits. With the Commodores and Pointer Sisters. With special guests, the Spinners. November 14th, inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa. Get tickets now at casino.hardrock.com/Tampa or Ticketmaster.com. Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Get the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6 powered by Galaxy AI with Spectrum free anytime upgrade. Use Circle to search with Google to see more and search more on the large Z Fold 6 screen. Or capture perfectly framed pics using FlexCam and Z Flip 6. Order now with Spectrum free anytime upgrade and get up to $1,000 off, plus the value of your trade-in. Visit a Spectrum store or SpectrumMobile.com today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, how's it, everyone? Olympic surfing update from Teheohupo, Tahiti on August the 5th. We've been on hold since the start time, which should have been 1 o'clock Eastern. They are 6 hours behind us. So now we're looking at a 4:30 start time for the men's and women's semifinals, which will proceed into the medal rounds. Yep, looks like we're a go. Today is the last day of the waiting period. Enjoy. Aloha.
Aloha.
It's time for Jack's Olympic Update on The Jim Colbert Show.
Thank you, Brother Matt, for the surfing update. Doing a great job on that. This is all about the 2024 Paris Olympics. It's brought to you by our iHeartRadio app, the only audio app that you can hear the Olympic Games live, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. I used it a little yesterday. It's pretty cool. If you're on the go, you can take the games with you. Now, Team USA had a big weekend at the Olympics. Actually, it ended. Remember, I'm not giving you today's action. No spoilers in case you're watching it tonight. You're good to go. But at the end of last night, at the start of games today, we were in a tie for the lead in gold medals with China.
How about that?
However, China is cheating.
Oh, yeah. We totally forgot about that part.
Yeah, they are. They're cheating.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. They're doping. They have 11 swimmers who came up dirty, and they're supposed to report that. They didn't. And then when they did, they said they ate some bad burgers in Beijing.
Right, yeah.
Burgers in Beijing.
Yeah, exactly right, yeah.
Is why they failed their drug test.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You mean from 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyway, that's a thing. Team USA doing well. I am going to name one of the gold medalists from the weekend. I want you two to chime in with their discipline. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to start you off nice and easy. Scotty Scheffler.
Golf.
Yay! Ryan Krauser.
Swimming.
Won his 3rd straight gold medal. The first one to do it in this sport.
Rowing.
Shot put.
Oh, wow, really?
That's right. Okay,
For the first time, for 3 consecutive years. You've had back-to-back winners before, but not 3. Ryan Krauser has done it. Also, America took the silver as well. Here's one for you. Vincent Hancock won his 4th gold medal in this. Jimmy, it's something you and I did about 20 years ago as part of a station event.
Made out.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Besides that.
20 years ago?
Yeah.
Soccer.
Men's skeet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds terrible, though. You and I did this 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, oh, man.
Lean into it,
That's
Jimmy.
what we did.
Katie, the Phillips File Celebrity
That's right.
Sporting
Yeah,
Clays Tournament.
Yeah, before the poker tournament.
Yeah. It was the predecessor to that.
Yeah.
Here's an easy one for you. Katie Ledecky.
Swimming.
There you go. Katie won her 800-meter race, which was so exciting.
Some of the swimming races were like unbelievably good.
I cannot tell you the joy this gives me. Watching these, I'm yelling. My wife's like, they can't hear you, so I yell louder because I'm that guy. It's just so exciting. I absolutely love it. I already started. I'm saving for 2028. I'm going.
I love it.
To
You are,
to
really?
LA.
Cool.
Yeah, I
good.
decided. It's in my country. You know, I love the game so much. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's true, especially for an Uber fan like you.
Yeah, so I'm saving. So Katie won. It ties her for the second most all-time, and she wants to compete again in 2028. Okay, here's an easy one. Noah Lyles.
Running.
Yep.
Sprinter. He talked the talk, and he backed it up. What an amazing 100-meter race. That all the attention goes to. This is one of those where, all the excitement is about this 100-meter race.
Absolutely.
Usain Bolt held it a couple years back-to-back. And
it usually decides the fastest person in the world kind of thing. A lot of times it will.
By 5 1,000ths of a second.
I was watching it live, and I will tell you, it was really hard. I thought the kid from Jamaica won.
Yeah, and so did the guy on the call. Because he called it, Jamaica wins, he won the gold. And he called it, then like, what? And even Noah Lyles thought he did. He went over to the Jamaican, he said, I think you got it. I think you got me on the lean.
Yeah.
And it was actually the opposite.
Right.
Him leaning in because it's judged by your torso, not your feet.
Right, yeah.
And his torso was in just a fraction or 5 1,000ths of a second faster.
And if you watch the video, the Jamaican's foot goes across the line first, but his chest doesn't. And it's the chest that has to go across.
Yeah.
Wow.
American Fred Curley took bronze in that as well. Here's another one for you. I watched this one. So excited. This is one I was really cheering at the end. Katie Faulkner. Take a guess. What does Katie do?
Katie Faulkner.
On day one of the Olympics, she fell 3 times and did not win a medal.
The balance beam.
No. It was a wet road.
Oh.
Cycling.
Yes. Cycling.
Yay.
So on the time trials, she fell 3 times, did not medal. However, she was a sub for the cross, the women's cycling. This was it was just short of a 100-mile race. Right, the guys did 160.
Right, yeah, it's ridiculous.
The women, it was I think like 97 miles. She was in the chase group. She fell in this. I watched her. She caught up. And then they were talking about, like, when she catch up, they figured they'd trade back and forth, then it would be a sprint for the finish. She caught up to that lead group and then just took off. It was so exciting.
Gone.
It was so cool. She ran away with it. You know, Bobby Fink, what does he do?
Bobby Fink is I just saw this. Bobby Fink is a gymnast.
Ooh.
No, he's a swimmer.
Swimmer is the answer. Won the men's 1,500-meter freestyle. They call that the mile-long race. That's Katie Ledecky's specialty on the women's side. And what's interesting about Bobby Fink, he won the only men's swimming medal
individual
for Team USA. We won. We did well in all the medleys, and in the mixed as well as the men's and the women's disciplines. We did well, but that was exciting. So a big haul for gold for the Team USA yesterday. Now, we talked earlier about Snoop Dogg real fast. That's working for NBC. They may be second-guessing their pick of Alex Cooper. She's an influencer. You ever hear the name before?
Never heard of her.
Okay. They hired her. She had a channel or a TikTok thing called Call Her Daddy, right? But now, so they're doing on Peacock, it's Watch with Alex Cooper. So it streams on Peacock. She does her commentating on the games. However, she said something. It was she was talking about how some U.S. gymnasts have moves that were named after them. She allegedly said that she also has a move named after her.
Oh, man.
It's called the Gluck Gluck 3000. If you follow Alex from her Color Daddy days, you know this references a sexual act.
Just like a Haktua?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The Gluck Gluck 3000. Little backlash on that, saying that's not
it's not appropriate.
Not appropriate for the
come on,
Olympics.
man.
But if NBC's trying to catch the young demo and be edgy, it's
but do kids watch the Olympics? This seems like a way older thing to be hired. I think that's a bad hire.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, does anybody really care?
I think that's the point. I think that's why they're making these hires is to see if they can,
appeal to the
we're
kids.
streaming it. It's on social. Wow, we didn't even get to half of this stuff.
Oh, just hang loose. We'll do some more when we get back.
Okay, let me do this, though.
It's time for Jack's Olympic Snack on the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, first of all, Deb was trying to kill me while you're gone.
Okay,
I
that's fine.
revealed that one of my Olympic snacks
I gave her $100.
Carrots with red roasted pepper hummus.
That's good. That's a good choice.
I think
but that's not a
she
snack.
shamed me. She is shaming me because it's
too
not
good for you?
It's not bad.
Well, he followed the thin wheats. With red pepper hummus and carrots.
That's
all
a
right,
very good point.
I went out yesterday or the day before Saturday. I went out to the store to get ice cream.
There you go.
Yeah,
and
we're
just
talking.
like what kind do I get?
Vanilla.
No. What brand?
Aldi.
No.
Edie's.
Breyers.
It's better. Regardless of what store, what am I looking for?
The cheapest kind.
BOGO.
Or BOGO.
Okay, so which turns out to be the cheapest kind.
Yeah.
So you get two flavors for the price of one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do
And
with
we got
Haagen-Dazs.
cappuccino coffee, and I got cookies and cream. And whenever I do that, you know what I do? Both go in the bowl.
Oh, do they really?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's an interesting mix.
I think
That
the
sounds like it
brand
works.
is like Turkey Lake, Turkey Lane, or something.
Turkey
stick,
Lane?
Turkey
I
drumstick.
don't buy ice cream from a turkey company.
I know turkey is in the name of this ice cream brand.
For a second, I thought he said he put it in his old fashioned.
But it was BOGO, so I went for it.
There you go.
And we can come back with more news,
Well,
but
Tim.
it is time for this.
It's time for this to be over and get back to the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Let's take a little break. We'll come back and finish up the Jack's Olympic update and get to a couple other things I want to talk to you guys about as well.
Casino passes for the 2024 Just Call Mo Real Radio Celebrity Poker Tournament are still available. Go to realradio.fm/poker for more info.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Still seeing a bit of slow traffic on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area between the Beach Line and 535. Other than that, no major problems to report so far for those who need to take the Turnpike north or southbound. Traffic is moving well for the most part on the Beach Line and on the Greenway. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote today at directauto.com. Savings vary. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Guys, listen up. If you have plans to sell your home for any reason, learn about the Nickley Group before you make that move. These guys are doing it way different. Stress-free, innovative real estate solutions for sellers and buyers. And this market is not softening. Homes in Orlando are still selling for record prices. So look, if you're considering for selling your home for any reason, maybe you're downsizing, maybe you got to relocate, maybe you're having more kids and you need a bigger house, contact the Nickley Group. They have so many options. And not only do they sell homes on an average for 6% more, they sell them twice as fast as well. More money in your pocket faster. Here's what you can do online right now. Get your home valued instantly. Get a guaranteed cash offer or list your home today at thenickley.com. Google them. 3,000 5-star reviews, and they're ready to help you right now. So if you're longing for that next level real estate experience, and that includes mortgage services, they'll even help you move. Elite Marketing, a team of realtors, not just one. It's simple. It's thenickley.com. That's NICKLEY group.com.
Renewal by Andersen is having their end of summer sale, and it's hotter than the Florida sun, and that's saying something. Renewal by Andersen's windows combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather, which is more important than ever now that we're in the midst of the hurricane season, especially if you live on Florida's coast. Plus, everything is made in the USA. Now through August 31st, receive $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. And be one of the first 50 callers and receive a free True Scene screen upgrade. Again, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
I'm John Morgan, here to urge you to vote yes on Amendment 3 and legalize the adult use of marijuana. There are a lot of reasons to vote yes on Amendment 3, but let me give you one more good one. Today, too many adults are sitting in our jails simply because they were using marijuana, and that is just wrong. If I was your governor, I would free or parole every person in jail for possession and then expunge everyone's record. Amendment 3 will put a stop to this and let the cops fight real crime, not fake crime. I'm tired of people being thrown in jail for something that is less harmful than alcohol or opioids. So now let's finish what I started and join me, John Morgan, in voting yes for the people and for Amendment 3.
Vote yes on Amendment 3. Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite 3, 321, Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Hey, Cam, mind sending me over our new Wi-Fi password?
Oh, sorry, Mitch, you can't be trusted.
What?
It's your phone. It's different than mine.
Cam! And I thought I was a judgy one.
No, it's just messages between different devices aren't encrypted.
Okay. Since when do you know about encryption?
I know what encryption is, and it's because I'm the last line of defense against any would-be Wi-Fi thieves.
Cam, come on.
Okay, fine. I'll send it somewhere more private.
Thank you.
Safely send messages between different devices. On WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. This is the Jim Colbert Show on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, and right here on Real Radio 104.1.
What do you do, Colbert crew? You know who, your favorite teabag from Rockledge. Sorry, I had to open a beer and smoke something. 420, let's go. Anyways, yeah, stay safe driving out there. I just got back from Marin Island, and man, that wind is whipping something fierce.
Is it the wind, buddy?
Saw a lot of idiots on the road today. Anyways, have a good week.
Thanks,
Glad to have you back, Jim.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Enjoy
it.
Teabag. Hey, he's home.
Yeah.
Keeping him by. He's safely home.
Yeah. The guy,
he opened the beer at home.
At home.
Yeah, the guy ripping the beer saying, it's crazy out there.
There are idiots everywhere.
That's why you need the beer.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
I am.
I got a little bit more for this on the update.
E. coli.
Oh, yeah.
The River Seine. Remember, they kept putting it off to do the triathlon, and so they finally said, "Okay, it's safe enough. You can go."
Yeah.
However, now there's a bit of a concern about the Seine River. Belgium is pulled out of the mixed relay triathlon because they still have more to do after one of their athletes fell ill. Team statement over the weekend didn't give details, but reporting that triathlete had an E. coli infection. It comes after the swimmer competed in last week's women's triathlon. Switzerland also reshuffled its relay roster after one of its athletes was diagnosed with a gastrointestinal illness.
Not a chance I get in that water.
Can you imagine?
Not a chance. I saw it. It's like they're swimming through raw sewage. That's what it looks like. That's what that river looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like they're diving into raw sewage.
Like how many, Jack, wasn't it like 11 athletes have fallen ill now?
I didn't get the total on that. I know it's 11 Chinese athletes who tested positive for.
Oh yeah,
really?
Well, that was just that bad burger in Beijing.
Right,
cheaters.
It's just their doping reacting poorly with the water from the river.
There is a dark side of these Olympics, and that's me yelling things in my house. I have to kind of control myself at times. But, if you just, it sounds a bit, xenophobic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, Olympic Village goes crazy for these viral chocolate muffins. Have you heard anything about the chocolate
muffins? Don't know anything about it, no.
So the company that makes them, I guess, Norwegian swimmer did a TikTok about them, and then it became the must-have thing, and they sell them in the area villages. They figure by the end of the Olympics and the Paralympics, they will have served 100,000 of these.
Oh my goodness!
Double chocolate muffins.
Good God, really? The only thing I've seen over there that's gone like viral when it comes to something you have to have is the Snoop Dogg pin.
With the ring, him blowing the rings.
Yeah. That little pin, but he doesn't even have one, and apparently it's the thing to have.
Right.
If you could get your hand on a Snoop Dogg pin,
yeah,
that's the thing to get.
Yeah. Simone Biles is leaving the door open for 2028.
Yep.
She will be in tonight's primetime coverage on NBC. You'll see her competing for the last time in these games, and is not committed to. She's going to wait and see if she wants to compete in 4 years at the age of 31.
What does she have left? She did beam. She's already done. She did floor.
Yeah.
Is she like a parallel, uneven parallel?
You had the teams, then you had the all around where they do everything, then the individual apparatus. So she did the vault. She won the gold on the vault.
That's her that's her thing, right?
Yeah. And then they did, I think last night was the uneven bars, and then you have floor exercise and beam, which you will see tonight.
Yeah. Saw some of the rings. The guys doing the rings. And, man, you talk about, like, there's this Chinese
upper body
dude.
strength.
This Chinese, Liu, I think is his name, Liu.
The Chinese, they own that discipline.
The announcer said that he's watched this Liu guy, since he was a kid. He says, I think he is the strongest pound-for-pound human being at the games, this guy.
Yeah.
And you're watching them do all these spins and iron crosses, upside down iron crosses, completely suspended Superman-looking things.
Yeah.
And they're doing it all with their upper body. No shaking.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, they're smiling. This dude's smiling. His hair's not even moving.
Yeah.
Unlike me.
Just destroying it. It's unbelievable.
It is. It's amazing. That they earn those goals.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They were gold and silver in that.
But those swimmers.
It's the bad burger. It's just the bad burger.
Those Beijing burgers.
Chinese cow.
All right. So last week, I told you U.S. swimmer Ryan Murphy, he gets out of the pool, he wins a bronze medal, and his wife does a gender reveal on the sign. Ryan, hey, we're having a girl.
Oh.
So there's been another big announcement at the games after winning a gold medal. A Chinese badminton player, we assume she's drug-free, was surprised with a proposal from another badminton player, and she accepted that. So they did that after the medal ceremony, and everyone got to see it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the second proposal because Argentina men's handball player proposed to his longtime girlfriend, did that in the Olympic Village. She accepted as well. Have you seen?
That's a pretty epic place to do it. I would think that that's a little corny. Like the skeptic in me goes, that's so corny. But man, that's a once in a life. I mean,
it is.
Yeah, that's a once in a. I say once in a lifetime. It's not once in a lifetime. But if you're an athlete and you don't want to do this the rest of your life,
once in a quadrennial.
Yeah. If it's the last games, you're gonna go.
But then, so do you do it in the Olympic Village where it's like, hey, we're here. It's the excitement of the place. Is this the place? Or you wait till the award ceremony? That's kind of a baller.
You got to do it on national TV.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
Why do it in the Village on a cardboard bed?
Okay, the official word is the pole vaulter did not lose out on a medal because of his massive bulge.
Did you see this, Deborah?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you see this? It's French guy, right? This French guy?
Yes.
This French guy.
French pole vaulter, Anthony Amirati.
And he goes over. His leg hits the pole first, but as he's going over, his junk, and I mean his substantial junk, does hit the pole, and it does look from an angle.
Then the bar bounces and falls off.
Like his wiener cost him the gold.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Google it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've Googled.
Yeah. But do it during the break so we can have you for the rest of the segment.
Okay. Did you see we know you saw it yesterday, the men's 100-meter race. Did you see the women with Sha'Carri Richardson?
No, I did not.
Okay, that was the night before. You know who did see it? Adele. She stopped her concert in Munich and had them put it on the screen at the concert to watch the race, and then went back to the concert.
Oh, wow.
I guess she's a fan.
That's awesome.
Well,
did she win? Did Sha'Carri win?
There's a couple days I can tell you no. She did not.
Okay.
She got the silver. The runner from St. Lucia had won, which was their first medal ever in the Olympics, and they already treat her like a queen there, so she's going to own the island. Yeah.
Deb, how do you feel about that pole vaulter? How do you feel about the pole vaulter, Deb?
Who knew he came to the competition with his own pole?
I was going to say, he's
Lord.
like, they go to hand him, he goes, I don't need that.
Yeah, no.
I got mine.
I got mine right here. Yeah, that definitely took it down.
Yeah.
So we ended the weekend before the start of play today. 71 total medals. China has 45 total medals.
China.
And at the start of the day, we were tied with gold. So what happens today, we will see.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. And tonight, if you're watching the primetime coverage, the gymnasts compete on the gold on the women's beam and the floor. Track and field, they're going to do the first round for the men's 200-meter race, the heats for that. And then the medals are on the line for the women's 800-meter race, which is twice around the track.
There you go, yeah. Deb, you've looked at it 15 times now.
Wow.
Yeah.
It even bounces a little after.
It does, yeah, it does.
It does.
It does. There's
It's
some
the
recoil. There's some recoil there.
Yeah.
It's not being held tight. He did not tie that down like a good trucker. He left that out there on the bed, just flopping around. That thing is honestly, he should just get a gold medal for that.
I think, yeah, he's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be just fine.
Even if he doesn't win, he wins.
He wins.
Somebody wins.
A lot of people are going to win.
The other drama that I did hear about the Olympics, and we can talk about this when we get back if you want. Did you guys hear that, I guess Simone Biles' husband, who's an NFL player, right?
Yeah, Owens, he's a cornerback for the Bears.
Right, yeah.
Wait, give me a moment to throw up in my mouth.
What?
Well, because he was a Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, right.
And then he left to the Bears.
But he's getting some crap because I guess he took some pictures with or posed with Simone Biles' gold medals.
Yeah,
he was wearing them. And a lot of people are like, look, man, I appreciate it. How about just hold it up? Don't put it on. I mean, you didn't do that. Like, they were saying that the people who earn the medal should be the only ones that wear the medal, right? Usually, I'm not even though I look like an old man that yells at the sky. I am not an old man that yells at the sky.
Yeah, you are.
But I have to tell you, I kind of agree with this a little bit. I would, if my wife, daughter, somebody close to me killed themselves, sacrificed their entire social life, did everything they could to compete this once or twice in their life to do this, man, I would never put that on. And it would be just my personal thing. I don't hate on anybody for doing it, but I would never do that. I wouldn't want to do that. I would think that would be saved for the person who earned the medal.
So real quick, it was following the gym. I think it was the male gymnasts when they won the bronze, and then the NBC showed them like hours later meeting their families for the first time after they won the awards, and you get chills because you just know they were there for every step of the way, and they leading them up to your child achieving their dream, and now's your first time seeing them. And one of them put the medal on his dad, and it was just like
that. You can understand,
right?
But the person put it on them, like the athlete did it. Like athlete said, "Dad, thank you so much for your support. Mom, thank you so much for support. Let's take a picture with this. It's important." But if you just take it, if they hand it to you and you put it on. Like, I don't know about that, dude. Like, if you handed me your Super Bowl ring, I'd be like, that's badass. I would not put it on.
I do like that caveat of it's the person who earned it putting it on you, because it's basically them saying, you helped me.
Right.
You helped me achieve
You're part of this.
But they have to be the one to put it on
100%. I don't think you should be snatching a medal out of somebody's hand and putting it on your dopey head.
Yeah, but how about like the actor who wins the Academy Award and they keep the Oscar in the crapper so that everyone who comes by, they know is going to be standing in the mirror doing their Oscar acceptance speech.
Trust me, nobody who wins a gold is going to hang it in the bathroom. Nobody's doing that. Like even other athletes, the professional athletes that win the gold, they treat that with more reverence than they do the championship trophies of their sport. I mean, they were talking to some of the golfers about it. And they're like, hey, where are you going to put your medals or whatever? And they're like, look, this will be showcase. This is for the country. This isn't for a paycheck or, for a trophy. This is for my country.
When the Bears win the Super Bowl this year, sorry.
That's so brutal.
It wasn't easy to say. When the Bears win the Super Bowl this year.
After beating the Raiders.
Is it okay for Simone to wear the Super Bowl championship ring? Simone Biles.
Well, sure, because her husband's already put on her gold.
Yeah, I mean, when he puts it on her wrist, because that's exactly where it's going to fit. Right? Exactly. No, not her thigh.
No.
Oh, my God. You ain't getting nothing on that thigh.
Our thighs.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. Jack, I know you had you went to see Christopher Cross.
Yeah, pretty fun evening.
Yeah?
But it turned out there was a little drama.
Was there really?
Really?
Yeah. All right, we'll tell you what that is next.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Slow traffic is reported in the usual spot on I-4 this afternoon between the Beach Line and 535. No major delays to report, however, for those who need to take the 408 east or westbound this afternoon. Traffic also moving well up and down the 429. If you see any traffic problems today, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school, including tech. Right now, get up to $300 off select PCs at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. Offer ends 8/24. Save big on back to school at Staples.
Jim Colbert Show question of the day is in our YouTube chat. It's brought to you today by the Home Builders Network. Connect with them at hbnusa.com. Why? Because that's where you go when you need something done around your home, to your home. It's Mike the Home Builder, and Mike is a great guy but can totally help you and guide you when it comes to the big repairs that you need done. Maybe it's replacing your windows. Maybe it's just one window or a door. You need a new front door? Home Builders Network can help. For me, it was a roof. A year ago, I contacted Mike and the Home Builders Network. I had my roof replaced, got gutters as well. By the way, gutters with covers is the way to go. Absolutely love them. The Home Builders Network, nominated by Orlando's Best for Best Windows and Doors, and a Best of Florida nominee for Best Roofing Contractor. Use someone local, someone you can trust. It's the Home Builders Network. You find them online at hbnusa.com.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice. Watch the roulette wheel spin and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star. Sip cocktails that shimmer. Then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa. Located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Renewal by Andersen is having their end of summer sale, and it's hotter than the Florida sun, and that's saying something. Renewal by Andersen's windows combine chic design with custom-built craftsmanship, providing impact resistance against Florida's extreme weather, which is more important than ever now that we're in the midst of the hurricane season, especially if you live on Florida's coast. Plus, everything is made in the USA. Now through August 31st, receive $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. And be one of the first 50 callers and receive a free True Scene screen upgrade. Again, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Official sponsor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Just dial pound law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America, and now the universe's largest injury law firm.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
From the team behind Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanished comes a brand new investigative true crime podcast, Flashpoint. Listen as they explore the homegrown terrorism threat through the lens of the Atlanta Olympic bombing and its aftermath.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Listen to Flashpoint on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Flashpoint to start listening.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Did your mobile provider just increase their prices again? Switch to Spectrum Mobile, the nation's fastest growing mobile provider. With Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G. Switching to Spectrum Mobile has never been easier. We'll pay off your phone balance up to $2,500. Stop dealing with price hikes from your cell phone company. Get Spectrum Mobile. Visit spectrum.com/itpays-to-switch for full details. Offer subject to change. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
The final week from Paris.
It's Noah Lyles. The 20-year drought is over for the Americans.
The 800 still belongs to the one and only Katie Ledecky.
Scotty Scheffler adds gold to his green jackets.
Bring the summer games with you from your phone to your car or wherever you listen. Open the free iHeart app now and enable push notifications for live updates from Paris.
exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
Want more from the Jim Colbert Show? Online at jimcolbertlive.com.
Hey, what's up, Jim? Hey, welcome back, brother. Hey, man, it looks like you guys had a really good weekend, and happy birthday to Tori.
Thank you.
Jack, Deb, how you guys doing? Dude,
Fat and sassy.
one of the best things or one of the best gifts that you could ever get from your child is a college graduation. Man, look, I understand the expenses and everything, but because he worked so hard, Disney pretty much took care of everything. We spent some time at Disney Springs with him and his girlfriend and their family, having some lunch, and now we're planning a wedding.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
congratulations.
All right, 407-916.
Good weekend.
1041. Text us at 77031. I just got a notice that Buca de Beppo is filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah, well, we lost the Maitland one.
Yeah, we did, but that doesn't necessarily mean the entire chain is going down.
Right, but no, then they all started kind of tumbling, I think, like a week ago.
Yeah, they closed 13 locations, around 20% of its restaurants. It says it'll assure us that the 44 remaining will be opening, but maybe they'll probably just kind of reorganize.
So I know there was one by the Florida Mall. I don't know if that's, a victim as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure.
Yeah. Good for family stuff. I know it used to be packed. My daughter worked there through high school. She said during Thanksgiving and Christmas, she would make so much money in a day, it would be scary. I mean, you make anywhere from $500 to $800 a day waiting tables.
We've done some family meals there, and we just always had a fantastic time. My sisters, my mom liked it.
Oh, yeah.
And when Joe, our friend Joe, was the manager there, I mean, there was one ice cream dish that come like in a giant margarita glass, or a giant martini glass, right? And I mean, it's
called Death by Death.
Yes, I have a picture of that. My mom, we're celebrating her birthday, and that thing's in front of her, and she couldn't be happier with ice cream.
Yeah.
My daughter's sweet 16. She wanted to have dinner there with her friends, and so they had the Pope room, that big round room.
Yes, I love that room. I always felt a little extra special.
I did a charity dinner there, and I cooked for the people that are in, and they sat in the kitchen table because there's a table in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and I cooked for them while they were sitting in there. That was actually a very cool experience too. I think that thing was a brownie, was it not? They would put that margarita glass, put a big ass brownie in the bottom of it, and put
all the ice cream you could eat.
Oh yeah, 20 scoops or something.
Absolutely.
And it's Big Lots is also closing several locations in Florida.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're planning to close more than they're planning to open next year.
Really?
And that, of course, the Dow.
Oh yeah, the Dow got its blank kicked in today.
Yeah, 1,100 points.
Yeah, 1,100 points down. Don't look at your 401k today. It'll come back.
Today. Not today.
Don't look today. Don't make your retirement plans today.
No, wait till tomorrow.
All right, 407-916-10401. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. Jack went to see Christopher Cross this weekend. I actually thought we were supposed to interview him.
We couldn't get that done, and I found out a little more last night when I got to talk to him. But backing it up, I got tickets. Like, we gave away tickets for a week, right?
Yes.
And we only had 5 pair. And we gave them all away, and I'm like, man, I want to go.
Yeah.
So,
and for people who don't know, Christopher Cross back in the early 80s, going into like the mid 80s, like set the tone for what you would call yacht rock, like the theme of the movie Arthur, and then Sailing. I mean, all those big hits.
He had an album that came out in 1980, and I think won 4 Grammys or 5 Grammys with that.
It was a monster.
And then Arthur came out. He won an Oscar for Best Song in a Movie. He co-wrote that with Burt Bacharach.
Had a run there.
Yeah, he did. But has since been, that was his first album. I think he's made like 14 more.
Yeah.
Since then. But so I wanted to go, and so our the salesperson who got us the tickets, they reached out to the company and the promoter, and they said, "Yep, we'll give them a pair of tickets. There'll be a will call." I got the email. Just go to will call, and I'm good to go.
And
so
this is at Plaza, right?
At the Plaza Theater. So, and then my sister and my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law has worked with Christopher Cross in the past, so I texted my sister, "Hey, I'm going to see Christopher Cross tonight." She's like, "Oh, let me tell David, my brother-in-law." Then the next thing, about an hour later, I get a text. It's like, "Hey, my name is so and so. I'm the road manager with Christopher Cross. Text me when you get here, And if you're here, maybe we'll be able to get a picture, or you'll be able to meet
Christopher.
Christopher.
Meet and greet, right?
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like my wife and I were eating dinner. It's like, oh, let's go. So we went down there, go to, it's raining out. We get up to the box office, and, I'm like, my fear that I have every single time tickets are at will call that they're not going to have them. And I go, yeah, tickets. He's like, I don't see him. I go, I got the email here, and I showed him, and he's like, oh, you're the guy from the radio, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I done the radio too. I'm like, cool. And he looks, and he goes, oh, these tickets, yeah, they're for Jacksonville on Wednesday.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm like, oh.
He said, hey, I went to MapQuest. Here's a map how to get there. And
Jacksonville.
here's a Quality Inn right next to the joint.
On Wednesday. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well, no problem. And so I'm like, okay, well,
Is your wife hearing this, or
she was right there. She was right there.
Because I would be terrified.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't even turn around.
Yeah.
I would if I did this and my wife was with me, I would say, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I would then just walk away.
Yeah.
I would not turn around, and if she said, hey, where are you going?
And
I would act like I didn't know her.
And when I looked up, it had also said sold out.
Oh,
the show is now sold out.
At least you're not standing in the rain.
So we were under the awning, and by the way, the renovations look fantastic at the Plaza Live.
Right?
They really stepped.
Legendary. down
Even
there.
though the old seats?
They've cleared another hurdle.
Yeah, good.
So, but I had that text message, and I'm like, Matt, we were really looking forward to meeting Christopher. Awkward situation. The tickets I had are for Jacksonville in 3 days. He's like, hold on. And then he goes,
this is the road manager guy?
The road manager. He's got, I'm coming to get you. So next thing he comes in the door, he waves me in, and he's like, come on. And then they're like, we're going to get you seats. And, he talked to someone else, and they come out with a piece of paper, and it says, okay, these are going to be your seats. Come with me. And he took me to the tour bus, unlocked the door. He's like, Christopher, we're here. And he says, Naomi and I go into the tour bus. It's just Christopher Cross and no one else. He's like, have a seat. I figured, okay, this is 7:15. The show starts at 8. I'm like, okay, 5-10 minutes tops. We'll just get a picture. We'll get out of there. I'm
Right.
He's probably just gonna,
Let this guy have his lean cuisine and move on.
Yeah, he's being nice because he knows my brother-in-law, my sister. He's being very gracious. We talked for 30-35 minutes.
Like, really?
Whoa.
Until the minute he walked on stage?
Yeah. I told him, I'm like, dude, you got a show to do.
Yeah, you should go to work. I came here to see you play. Are we going to just do this?
I think you got to work. He was so nice. We
Was he really?
sat down. He was asking us questions, but we were talking about music, about the whole idea of
he's probably longing for any conversation outside of.
Well, he got really sick. He had COVID, but then he had something bar disease where he was in a Epstein-Barr, where he was in a wheelchair for a year. But that was a couple of years ago. But he's touring again. But
that's awesome.
Talked about other people in the industry, Michael McDonald, Daryl Hall.
Is he a dick?
No, no. He's had nice things to say about that. And also Steely Dan.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. But his daughter is producing a yacht rock documentary for HBO coming out later this year. So
wow. Did you tell him you're Captain Jack?
All of that. He knew. He knew.
What?
I worked in radio.
Did you tell him you're Captain Jack? I would love this. I mean, look, Chris, I know we've been talking about half an hour here. I didn't want to say anything, and then you look over both shoulders like you're about to tell a racist joke.
Yeah, and then
I'm Captain Jack.
I told him I did a yacht rock show. But he goes, and he did get the interview request. He's like, it's just, I used to do the meet and greet. He goes, I haven't done a meet and greet in years. So, it's just.
Oh, that's great. He's probably longing to do it. I'm telling you.
But he hasn't done that. And he goes, and, talking about it just, you always get the same question. So he got away from doing those interviews. But what he loves to talk about is politics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so we started to,
he's got to be a raging Republican, this guy.
You know it. We started talking about who Harris was going to take as a VP candidate, who he wanted to see. It was just, and then he and really enjoyed the conversation. And that's when it's like, it's 5 to 8. This show starts at 8.
Go.
Yeah. How
so
great.
They brought us, we said, got a picture, said goodbye. Manager brought us to our seats, and there was someone in there, and they looked, and they're like, oh, wait, let me check. And they're like, oh, this is really sold out. And they had to give us the only 2 seats they had available. The very last row.
Oh, really? That's
But
nice.
I didn't care.
Yeah, who cares?
I didn't care. It was a wonderful night.
The theater isn't big enough for that to be a problem.
No,
And-
it's
so we had no band?
Oh, no, he did. It was,
Okay.
he has a 7 piece.
They're
He has
just-
3
they're
backup singers.
Okay.
So 3 female singers, drummer, guitar, keyboard, bass player, and himself. Yeah.
But they just weren't on the bus at the time? Or they
there was a separate bus.
Oh, they traveled
Yeah,
by.
and they were all in the venue. He's on the bus until it's showtime.
Yeah,
then
sure, yeah. Does he play guitar?
Plays guitar and extremely well.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
actually started out as a guitarist and was playing that. Ride Like the Wind, there's a guitar solo at the end.
Yeah.
That's him playing it.
I'll be damned, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got a whole setup of guitars.
I had a different encounter with Christopher years and years ago when I
Did
was
you?
with the Monsters.
Yeah.
Listen to you, Christopher.
Yeah, well, Christopher Cross.
Well,
whatever.
you want to call him Chris, and I'm like, well, I don't know if that's cool or not, so I call him Christopher as well.
He called our show to promote a show,
Yeah.
and I mean, it was his wife. His wife was with him or no?
He has a girlfriend now.
Okay, he has a girlfriend, but he was married to a very, very attractive woman back in the day, and I made a comment about how pretty she was, and what? What are you laughing at?
I'm assuming by this story that it wasn't well received.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he probably didn't appreciate it as much as you thought he might.
Let's just say I communicated a little bit more tersely when I was, in other words, I said something like, hey, man, I hear you have a hot ass wife or something like that. I mean, some stupid crass morning show douchebag thing to say, right?
Right.
And I remember saying that, and he immediately got offended. I mean, it wasn't like I'll slide into being mad. My man got angry immediately. What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I just heard you had a very attractive wife. Well, what does that mean? I'm like, it doesn't mean anything. It just means you got real lucky because you got a really attractive wife. Blah, 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 and went off, and it turned into a thing. Then he got mad. Then I got blamed for ruining the interview. I told him I made it great. They didn't believe me.
They could have just believed you.
But I haven't heard. That was all my fault. I've heard he's a nice enough guy.
The other night they were in Puerto Rico. They just got in ahead of the storm. Obviously, they're here. I think it's Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville coming up. Yeah, I can go. I still got those tickets. I think they have 3 more Florida gigs, and then he continues on. But yeah, he talked
How long
about
did he play? Like an hour and a half? Hour and
a half. Yeah,
I was gonna say he's got enough juice to play an hour.
And a half. Played his hits. Played and he even called it. Huh?
He played any covers?
No covers. He called them deep tracks, stuff from the other 14 albums.
Right.
He's released.
I call this one concession stand because that's where you're going when I play this.
He talked. It's funny. He told me about everything about the business that he has to deal with and stuff. He's like, with Yacht Rock, he's like, we talked to the people at Sirius, me, Daryl Hall, Michael McDonald. It's like, we love that you're playing these songs from this period. He's like, but we've continued to make music. We'd love it if you could include some of that. And then
never.
Like,
nope.
Sorry, dude.
Hey, listen, if they're not going to play new stuff from Daryl Hall, they're definitely not going to play new stuff from Christopher Cross.
Yeah.
I got bad news. You're great, but that's Hall & Oates.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're really great.
Yeah.
So you lose.
Although, actually, some of the stuff he played, I was like, oh, this is actually good stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure it is, but
you're just not exposed to it.
The window's done.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, I don't care what it is. Your window is done.
Yeah.
And it's weird how that happens in entertainment with us when it comes to movies, but specifically with music. We've talked about the shelf life of music with hip-hop, how it being so short.
Oh,
and country music, the shelf life is much longer, and they show respect to the people who started those businesses and started those genres. But yeah, they don't. They're not interested in going back. They're not. And as angry as an artist gets that they won't do it, I mean, it's your time has passed, man. Just play the stuff. You had your moment. And enjoy it, and just go out there and do your tours on cruise ships and have a good time.
He talked about it. He's like, I'll probably do this about 5 more years. He goes, I'd even actually prefer to open up for bigger artists, like Steely Dan was opening up for Eagles, right? So it was like, just get some larger audiences, do a smaller set, a 50-minute set. He goes, I'd totally be in it. He's 73.
But you're right. But I mean, when you talk about Mick Jagger, 81 out there jumping around like a chicken, I mean, it's like 73.
Well, he's got kids to pay for, man.
73
understanding.
But you know what? Him opening, that's got to be a specific show. I mean, it's that is like maybe 10 bands.
Yeah.
Like the Doobies, America.
Yeah.
Bands like that. And even bands that he probably wouldn't be opening up for because, I mean, that really is a small swath.
It's funny because when I thought about it, I thought it should have been the Doobie Brothers, and the Doobie Brothers just came through 2 weeks ago with Robert Cray opening up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And to the person texting us, no, this crisscross will not make you jump. That's a different crisscross.
Way different. All right.
Way different.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Let's take a little break. Load them up, guys. It's time for trivia. We'll do that next.
Real radio is the news junkie.
Oh, they do have condoms at Dollar General.
I just wouldn't trust it.
How does that work, though?
You give them $1 and they give you a pack of condoms.
You put it on your penis.
I know how condoms work, you guys.
The news junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1. iHeartRadio Olympics update.
Delaney Schnell fell short of qualifying for the women's 10-meter platform diving final.
Amazing rip entry that she has, and this is unfortunately not it.
The U.S. men's water polo team beat Croatia to advance to the quarterfinals, while the beach volleyball team of Miles Partain and Andrew Benish beat Italy in the round of 16.
For NBC's live coverage from Paris, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
As we hit the back half of the Olympic Games, it's easy to see why they've been the feel-good story we need. With all the crazy going on around the world, sports brings the temperature down. Whether it's Team USA, Simone Biles, track and field, we're at the top. We haven't had many opportunities to be united lately, but thanks to an exciting group of athletes, we are now, and the TV ratings are booming. I'm Colin Cowherd.
With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are just 50 cents each at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. In-store only, offer ends 8/24, limit 10. Save big on back to school at Staples.
And when you live in Florida, there's a couple things you have to make sure that you're good with. Number one, AC in your home has to be perfect every single time. And if you believe, even this late in the summer, that your AC is not going to make it through to October, you got to get with my friends over at Mills Air. They've been doing this for 30 plus years in Central Florida. Let them use that experience to make sure your AC never quits. It's called preventive maintenance. Basically, it's a tune-up for your AC system. They go through to make sure everything is good, even your duct work. And when they clear you, you're all set. You're good. They give you that guarantee. If not, they fix it, and they fix it well. But if you do have a system that's about to give it up, don't worry. These guys are Carrier Factory Authorized dealers. That could mean up to $1,275 in rebates towards your brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly turn to our friends over at Mills Air. Family owned and operated and ready to help you right now. It's 407-277-1159. Online, find them easily at millsair.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Call A1 Garage today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1 from day one. Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentoMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Big news for veterans and first-time homebuyers. The Hometown Heroes program provides up to $35,000 down payment and closing costs. Get pre-approved at thatmortgageguydon.com.
I'm John Morgan, and I'm asking you to stand with me and vote yes on Amendment 3. Amendment 3 will be on your ballot in November, and it will allow adults to possess or safely use marijuana, and that's a very good thing. Amendment 3 will put an end to bad laws that not only cost us millions in law enforcement dollars, but also cost thousands of Floridians their freedom. Nearly 250 years ago, our nation declared our independence. Now it's time for us to declare our independence from laws that demand jail time for simply having or consuming marijuana. Our system of treating adults who consume marijuana as criminals is madness. Join me, John Morgan, in supporting our own Declaration of Independence and vote for the people and vote yes on Amendment 3.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite 3, 321, Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. New South Window lives southern weather, and our Energy Star windows and doors are designed to keep the heat out and the cool air in. Get New South proud.
Going on now. Buy more and save more on all New South products. Volume discounts up to 30% off.
Cam found out that group chats between different phones aren't private.
Or encrypted.
Or encrypted, thank you. We only text in code.
Yes, which I created. I created a code.
Yes. Which can be a little annoying.
Wait, was that your attempt at the code?
You already forgot the code, didn't you?
I should have written it down.
The place to safely send messages between different devices. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
More Jim Colbert Show in 3, 2, 1.
You know, good things happen to good people. Mazel tov, Jack. But did Chris know anything about dominatrix Deb? Jimmy, you missed it, bro. Oh, my God. Deb, you're the best. You did a great job.
Does she come out every time I'm gone?
Yeah, pretty much.
What? Well, that's fair.
Well, we got to give something for the people while you're not here.
Good God, man! I don't get Dommy Deb.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're all sad when you're not here, so we gotta find the silver lining.
All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. There's Dommy Deb.
It's on my handcuffs.
And Jack is here as well. All right,
hanging from my bumper.
All right. All right, let's do some trivia. Let's get some stuff away.
All aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo-choo.
Clickety clack, clickety clack.
Here's the deal. Your choice of 2 prizes. Both of these are events happening this Saturday, August 10th. Either a pair of tickets to Taste Central Florida, the 33rd annual culinary celebration. We talked about this last week. It's at the Signia by Hilton, Orlando Bonnet Creek. You get the sampling of culinary delights prepared by area chefs.
Nice.
Silent auction music. Benefit Second Harvest, and also Coalition for the Homeless. You can get tickets to that at tastecfl.org. The other prize available for you to pick, a pair of tickets to Endless Summer 18 plus, at Island H2O Water Park this Saturday. So this is an 18 and up party.
All right.
And it's from 7 until 11. So grab your friends, enjoy the perfect night with the glow foam party, slides, rides, wave pool, and lazy river, and music by DJ Dirty Mellow.
Oh, I love this.
That's at Island H2O Water Park this Saturday night.
I got a feeling that my Santa beard level hair on my chest is going to play well. At Island H2O for the
Just color
endless
it, man.
Summer.
Like a tie-dye.
Oh my God.
Oh, just walk through that foam. You'll end up looking like a bag of Skittles.
I could fill a pillow with this. It's disgusting.
And as always, the Jackie Sack is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. Go local. Support a family-owned and operated Orlando moving and storage company. And make sure you keep it local by mentioning the Jim Colbert Show, because that's going to get you a discount. Book them today at centomoving.com. That's CENTO. Moving.com. Back to you, Clickety Clack.
Thank you, Deb.
Sure.
Jack, who goes first today?
That would be Matt with the hot wife.
Matt with the hot wife right there. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good. Congratulations on your almost said fat wife, on your hot wife.
Right back at you.
All right, buddy. Would you like to play a little game with us?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it.
Do you want to play a game?
All right, Matt with the hot wife. This is a very easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of these answers, Matt, though, it's a lie, buddy. But if you can find it, I will send you over to your choice of prizes. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. On this day in 1981, President Ronald Reagan fires 11,000 striking air traffic controllers. Do you guys remember that?
I do.
He broke that union.
do.
That's right. He fired them all. That's right.
Wow.
Here are 3 fun facts about air traffic controllers and one wrong one runway of a lie.
Ew.
All right, we're talking about air traffic controllers, buddy. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, most air traffic controllers take a 30-minute break for every 1.5 hours of work to avoid fatigue. Number 2, just behind surgeons and anesthesiologists, air traffic controllers have the 3rd most stressful job in America. Number 3, the average air traffic controller makes about $130,000 a year. Or lastly, it's mandatory that air traffic controllers retire at 56 years old. Which one of those is a lie?
I'll go with number 2.
Yeah, that's the one, buddy. You're a winner. Hey, just out of curiosity, what do you think? Where do you think it does fall on the stressful job list?
Let's go 8.
Yeah, let me tell you, buddy, it's not even in the top 20.
What?
It says that's one of the biggest myths in all of employment in America is that air traffic controllers are very stressed out because the equipment does almost all the work.
But I've heard that because they're understaffed, that's part of the reason why.
Sometimes, but the job itself isn't that bad because the equipment they have, even though it's very old,
nowadays
is unbelievably accurate and very good. Matter of fact, they don't even come in the top 20. Cops, high school teachers are all way ahead.
But
air traffic
200
controllers.
years ago is a stressful job.
Yeah, I don't know. These planes clipping each other at runways and airports has made me thinking, like, you need to pay better attention.
And the other thing, too, it says is most, you would think most of the work they do is the radar. Like if you're in the tower, not true at all. The people in the tower are actually looking out the windows 90% of the time. They're there to avoid exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
You know, crashes or stuff they can see happening in real time that they can warn. Yeah, most air traffic controllers have to take a 30-minute break for every hour and a half they work to avoid that fatigue, eye fatigue.
Right, yeah.
You start seeing things on the screens that aren't there or not seeing things that are there, and, of course, it's bad news. They are paid about $130,000 a year. What kind of degree do you think you have to be an ATC?
High school.
I'll go associates.
Yeah,
2 years college.
It's associate's degree is the exact answer.
Really?
Just a 2-year degree, and you can be an air traffic controller.
I don't know how that makes me feel.
And it is mandatory at 56 years old. You have to retire. They will not let you work past that. A couple other things you may not know about air traffic controllers before we get to the top of the hour. How old do you have to be? Or excuse me, what's the maximum age you can be to apply to be an air traffic controller?
54.
No, you remember you got to retire at 56.
I know.
Yeah. The maximum age, 40.
30 years old.
30.
30.
30 years old is the maximum age you can be to even enter the program to be an ATC.
So if you don't know that you want to be an air traffic controller by the time you're 30, you're SOL.
You got no chance.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. One of the biggest no-nos for air traffic controllers is what? And it is Not tolerated. You'll get fined, and more than likely you'll lose your job.
Porn on the job.
That's a great guess. No.
Being on your phone.
No, that's another great guess. One more.
Sleeping on. Drinking. Alcohol.
Smoking pot.
No cursing.
You're effing kidding me.
No cursing. When you talk to the planes or talk to other, you're not supposed to curse while addressing anybody on the system as an air traffic controller. A major, major, major no-no.
You could never do that job.
Yes, never, ever. How many air traffic controllers do you believe there are currently employed in the U.S.?
16,000.
Oh, good guess. I'm going to go less. 15,999.
Oh, I got shot.
You did get shot.
I got shot.
14,000.
Bravo, Deb.
What would your opening guess would have been?
I didn't even have one in my head yet. I was waiting to see what Deb was going to say. Bravo, Deb.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Lastly here, most air traffic controllers actually don't work anywhere near the airport. Usually they're miles and miles away in sealed rooms with radars that they can maintain the radar, and they communicate with the tower via telecommunications.
Ooh, you had me at sealed room.
Yeah, no windows, no nothing. They sit there in that room.
You see the movie?
And they monitor that.
Series Hijack on, it was with...
Was that Kiefer?
No, it's with the black guy that they wanted to be James Bond.
I watched 2 episodes of it, and it was corny.
Yeah.
It was, what's his face?
Idris
Elba.
Idris Elba.
There we go.
Idris
Elba. Yeah. Anyway, there was one of the main characters in it is an air traffic controller who's just, smart beyond words because she kind of figures everything out just by, doing her job extremely well.
Yeah. And the most famous air traffic controller ever in movies is from Airplane.
Lloyd Bridges, right?
It was Lloyd Bridges. Looks like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Yeah.
Still, I have to rewatch that movie. That may be the, there's a list of movies, the rewatchable movies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, for me, Deadpool 1. For me, like That Thing You Do for some reason, that Tom Hanks movie.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
That's a good one.
It's a great one.
Those are some of the most rewatchable movies to me. Airplane, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah,
those are the most rewatchable movies of all time. Like you could just every time it comes on, you have to watch some of it. I mean, there are. I don't know. Is there ever been a count for how many jokes have been told in a singular movie? Like,
I bet.
Like set them up, knock them down jokes. Airplane's got to be close.
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire script is basically a stand-up act.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
With visual support as the movie.
Don't call me Shirley.
It is so funny. Just for the people getting into the argument as a married couple about what the lines are when you go to the airport. The blue line's not for loading, you dumb bitch. Or whatever. Don't tell me that, Frank. You didn't clean the dishes last night. It's the white line. It's for standing. It's whatever. It's so good. All right, 407-916-1041. You can text us easily at 77031. This crime is reaching an all-new high. I'll tell you what that is next.
Great.
This season, Real Radio 104.1 is the Orlando radio home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hear every game here, courtesy of Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Slow traffic is reported in the usual spot on I-4 this afternoon between the Beach Line and 535. No major delays to report, however, for those who need to take the 408 east or westbound this afternoon. Traffic also moving well up and down the 429. If you see any traffic problems today, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Walt Disney World. Jobs.
Ready to be a part of the magic as a cast member at Walt Disney World Resort? We are hiring a variety of full-time and part-time roles with great benefits like theme park admission, exclusive discounts, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs.
Ooh, man, it's time to get you that new bathroom from our friends over at Rebath in Mid-Florida. And man, are they looking to do a really good job for you. Beautiful, beautiful installations, incredible products as well. When you drop by the website, rebathmidfla.com, you can actually see some before and afters and what they've done for people here in the area. Our buddy Daryl Payne got 2 bathrooms from Rebath. They did that first one. He's like, well, if you can do it that well, let's go and do the other one too. That's how good they are at this. And here's where they really score. These products they have are gorgeous. absolutely gorgeous. They are going to blow you away. Natural stone, travertine, and marble, all those beautiful colors you love. They have multiple choices of toilets and tubs and sinks and lighting and cabinetry and tiles. There's no way you can lose. You walk in with an idea, that design team works with you. They use their products. Next thing you know, you have a beautiful bathroom ready to install. They do that in 4 to 6 days with their employees, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. Showroom easy to find, $436 in Altamont. They're right across from Kobe. Drop in, tell them we sent you for $800 in upgrades. That's right. Just mention the Jim Colbert Show, and you'll get $800 in upgrades. Log on to the website. Look at those before and afters, then book your appointment. It's Rebath, midfla.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
If you suffer from allergies, have you ever thought allergy treatment would be nice, but I bet it's really expensive? You can go get some Zyrtec or Claritin for $20, but think about how much that's going to add up over the years, decades, a lifetime. At Aspire Allergy and Sinus, they can make your allergies go away for good. They don't just mask them like the over-the-counter meds. This is real treatment that'll save you money in the long run. Go to AspireAllergy.com to set your appointment today. That's AspireAllergy.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm a school teacher, and my husband is a firefighter. One day, we got the worst call of our lives. Our son was in a serious accident. We heard Glenn Klausman on Real Radio and called him to help. Mr. Klausman genuinely cared about our son and fought multiple insurance companies to get us a great result. We could reach him 24/7 on his cell phone. Mr. Klausman was our guardian angel.
I'm Glenn Klausman. Contact me at klausmanlaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN law.com. Office, Winter Park.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
Ah!
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
At SafeTouch Security, we recognize that times are tough. So right now, get a new SafeTouch system for $0 down with a free video doorbell. Plus, add an indoor camera for just $49. Limited time, call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. The exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. This is the Jim Colbert Show. Take us with you for free on the iHeart Radio app.
Hey guys, Michigan Chuck here. This is kind of Olympic related, but it's not. There's a new game in India called Kabaddi, which is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but you have to see it. It's hilarious. Check it out. It's kind of funny.
Somebody texted about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I think it was Michigan Chuck.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Is that who that is there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what Kabaddi is. What is it? Is it a ball or is there a ball involved? I did see that Skibbity Toilet talked about on a very wild podcast the other day. Like, we're way ahead of that. You saw Skibbity Toilet, right? You know what we're talking about.
No.
Yeah.
Was she not here?
Yeah, you had to have been here.
Skibbity Toilet, the giant head on a toilet that goes flying around.
Did we not talk about Skibbity Toilet when you were here?
No.
No, we had to have talked about Skibbity Toilet.
It's the first time hearing about it.
Maybe it was the day she was out with her mom.
Oh, that's right.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, that's right. You're out with your mother playing hooky.
Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah, Skibbity
You miss
Toilet.
Skibbity Toilet.
All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. Is this what we're looking at, Jack?
Yeah, I got Kabaddi on the screen right now that you can see.
What are they trying to do? It looks like Red Rover.
It does look a little like Red Rover, but it's pretty weird.
They're just trying to touch their foot over a certain line? This is like a playground.
It totally looks like a playground thing.
Like a playground game.
Okay, Gen Alpha is the one who uses Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. All right, crime rising rapidly. I mean, I don't know that this is going to be that difficult to figure out, but the numbers are pretty shocking. What do you think the highest? What do you think crime is rising in probability? What's going up?
Property crime.
Package thefts.
Reaching all new highs. What'd you say?
Property theft.
Not property theft.
But I think Jack hit it.
What'd you say?
No, that would be property. Package theft, like from your doorstep.
Yeah, not that. No. I mean, it's close.
Oh, cyber theft.
No.
Landscape stealing.
No, much more basic than that, guys. When you think about what kind of condition.
Pickpockets.
No.
Flipping locks to take out your change in your car.
No, it's causing basically an exodus from San Francisco.
Shoplifting?
Shoplifting's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, shoplifting has increased at what they call staggering levels. Staggering levels. This is what we should have done for the question of the day. I totally screwed up here. But shoplifting has reached staggering levels as inflation continues to force Americans to pinch pennies and forego necessities. It increased by what percentage in 2024? For just the first half of 2024. You got to remember, we haven't even made it to Thanksgiving or Christmas yet.
And this is just San Francisco.
No. This is the entire country. All I was saying is people were leaving San Fran because everybody's shoplifting so much.
Right.
Remember, they had to shut stores down.
Oh,
or put
Walgreens,
everybody
Macy's.
behind plexiglass because they couldn't open their stores. 24% increase.
Whoa.
24%. They did a study. They talked to like 2,000 people, and 24% of them. What group do you think? What age group is stealing more than anybody?
Boomers.
What do you think, Jack?
I was thinking it might be the older crowd. Yeah.
It's actually younger. It's 18 and younger. And millennials
it's alpha.
are stealing more. Yeah, they're most likely to commit the crime. They would be facing more financial woes than any of the other groups.
That or they just weren't beat enough as children.
And it says here that right. It says here now. Did you guys ever shoplift? Even a little bit, just for fun? I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll break the seal for you. I did it.
One thing.
Yeah, I would go.
Yeah,
this is what, as a kid, I would occasionally steal like a Tootsie Roll because it was easy to put in my pocket.
I took a key blank once.
Did you? Why?
Because he's gangster.
God Almighty,
he's so gangster.
What, that hasn't been carved yet?
Yes, it's useless.
Till he finds the key to his mom's car and he gets that car.
It's useless.
And then he doesn't tell Mom, I have a copy of your car key.
I took it. It was red. I'm like, oh, that's red. Look at that. And I just put it in my pocket. I got home. I was in the living room. My mom was in the room. She called me Jack. I'm like, she knows. I took it out of my pocket and threw it behind the couch. Last I ever saw of it. A red key blank.
Says over a third of shoplifters say they stole items because prices were otherwise unaffordable. 30% says it helps ends meet. Here's my problem, though, right? I see this stat and I see this problem. If you're stealing chicken, and if you're stealing like broccoli, and you're stealing box goods so I can feed my kids, that's one thing. If you're stealing makeup, you ain't trying to make ends meet.
No, yeah. I agree.
And that's what my problem is. It says what they're shoplifting tells you a lot about why they're shoplifting. And it says generally these aren't thrill seekers. And basically when you shoplift back in the day, it was a thrill-seeking thing, right?
Oh, you got away with it.
Like I had the 5 cents for the Tootsie Roll, or my mom would have done that. But, you taking it and getting it for free gives you that little bit of thrill as a kid. But it says these folks are taking things that they really, really need, like food, clothing, and even makeup. You don't need makeup. Food and clothing you need.
Yeah.
You don't need makeup. And I'm guessing most of these people are stealing like cigarettes and stuff like that. I don't know. Do you see people shoplifting like stuff like that? Like food? Like most of the stuff is you're shoplifting it to resell it, right?
Like baby formula, diapers.
It takes all kinds, right?
It does, yeah.
You have the people who, I don't know, kleptomania, they just feel they have to steal, and it's clothing, or in a supermarket, you're more likely to be stealing food.
Yeah. Maybe so. I mean, they still have medicine. The other thing that I had a buddy that worked at the grocery store I used to work at, and he stole acne medicine and sold it at school.
Oh.
He would steal it. What is the
Accutane?
No,
Stridex.
No, not that one.
The other one. Yeah.
The cream that is the
Oxy something.
Clearasil.
Yeah,
Clearasil. There you go.
And he would steal that.
Don't ask me how I know.
And then sell it in school for like, $3 or $4 or $5 a tube or whatever it was.
Somebody just texted us that they shoplifted condoms all through high school.
Really? See, I shoplifted one time as past 18 years old, and I got busted doing it. It was the most embarrassing thing ever, and it broke me from being a little thug, a little idiot.
Wasn't that the skating magazine that you put inside the newspaper and then you paid for the newspaper?
I paid 50 cents for the newspaper to try to get the skateboard magazine for 50 cents. And the lady who ran the store realized the magazine the newspaper was thick. And she opened it up and saw the skateboarding magazine. I was like, I don't even know how that got here. What the? Then I skateboarded home.
I do like that wrinkle in this.
I do too.
Reinforcing her argument, of course. How many people do you say that they when they shoplift, they get away with it? Of these 2,000 people, when they said they shoplifted, got away with it.
2,000?
Yeah, I was going to say an extremely high number.
52%. So more than half. More than half got away with it. And of course, what that's doing is it's driving cost up across the board for goods, for employees, for everything, insurance, all kinds of stuff. So these thefts cost you money in the long run. These retailers have to make it up or they go out of business.
Nothing is free.
It says people are struggling in the face of high rising prices, and they're going to desperate measures, and they wind up stealing stuff to make their ends meet or feed their families. We used, when I worked at that Winn-Dixie in P-Town, we would get that occasionally. We would get somebody that would come in and they would steal. And if it looked like a necessity thing, like a single mom,
right,
and she's trying to, most of the store would make it available for her. They would just go, hey, what can you afford? Can you give us $2? Can you give us $1? And they would let that happen. But if they were kind of malicious about it, like the one lady, I remember, man, one of the most heartbreaking things ever is we busted her, and she had like 3 kids, and she was stealing to feed her kids, and she started sobbing. Oh. And her kids were just like all around her, and she's just on her knees in the parking lot sobbing. Oh. It was awful. It was awful taking her to jail. I'm joking. No, but then you get some of the people that come in and they get a little greedy and they're stealing all the good steaks, and those people got to get beat up behind the store.
Well, I mean, look at what was it, Winston with the crab legs?
Oh, yeah, Jameis.
There you go.
Yeah. It's Americans' financial security was up 6.7% from 2022, and 36.5% of households had problems just simply paying for necessities like food, housing, and health care. So when when you're making a decision between, and this is what I used to tell my kids, when you don't know you're struggling until you have to make a choice between a gallon of gas and a gallon of milk. That's when you know that you're struggling. And you if you've never had to make that decision in your life, if you've never had to watch your mom or dad make a decision to put a gallon of gas in the car or a gallon of milk in the fridge,
or count the slices of bread,
then you simply don't understand adversity.
Yeah.
until you've seen your mom weep openly because there's no food or no way to feed you or anything like that. That changes you a little bit as a person.
Oh, it certainly does.
And I can see, I had to, I'd do it. I mean, if I had to do it. I mean, I would try to work my ass off, but if it came to it, I would do my very best.
Yeah, well, you gotta feed your family.
Yeah. It says if the trend continues, prices will go much higher as retailers adjust prices to offset losses. And we've seen that happening across the board already. Unbelievable. 24% increase. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Let's take a little break. Our buddy Ray Trinley on the other side. We'll do that right after this.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Slow traffic reported in the usual spots on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound between the Beach Line and 535. No major problems or delays to report on the Beach Line itself or on the Greenway. Traffic is still moving well east and westbound on the 408 this afternoon. Traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Early Learning Coalition of Osceola County.
Want to give your child a learning experience that's free, fun, and gets them ready for the future? The voluntary pre-kindergarten program is your answer. It's available at no cost to any 4-year-old child residing in the state of Florida. Visit our website at elcosceola.org. That's elcosceola.org.
I'm Olivia. When I was injured in a car crash, I knew from listening to the station who I needed to call. I called attorney Glenn Klausman. I knew I had a super lawyer on my side. I was extremely happy with the results. I'm Olivia, and I highly recommend attorney Glenn Klausman, Office Winter Park.
Win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance knows opening a small business is a great achievement. They offer custom insurance solutions to fit your needs. Get a quote and find why over 1 million small business owners trust them at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
Thinking about selling your home? Well, hold on to your packing tape. The Nickley Group can sell houses faster than you can find that one missing sock. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home from the Nickley Group today. Visit thenickley.com.
Can you believe kids are already going back to school? And while it's hard to admit, that means another allergy season is just around the corner. Studies show that kids with allergies have a hard time concentrating in school and have more absences than those without allergies. Aspire Allergy and Sinus has helped thousands, including children, with their kid-friendly allergy testing and pain-free allergy drops. So what are you waiting for? Set your appointment today at Aspire Allergy and Sinus and find a solution for the whole family. Go to aspireallergy.com today. That's aspireallergy.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays, the sound of paydays, the sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. Thousands of high-paying jobs in tech, healthcare, science, and more. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Go to callohiohome.com.
Hey homeowners, Russ Rollins here to talk to you about something serious, your power bill. Last summer was tough, but this year could be even worse. So don't wait until the last minute to get protection and savings from solar power and backup power. Solar Source has a new pay-as-you-go solar package that lets you start with an affordable base system and add solar panels over time. Plus, their pay-as-you-go battery backup is awesome, and it lets you add critical backup power as you go. Schedule a free consultation at solarsource.com/monsters. Get ready for a stress-free summer.
Spectrum Internet has enough speed to handle all your needs, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus, Spectrum's advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security for all your connected devices. Get Spectrum Internet with fast and reliable speeds, starting at just $29.99 a month with a 2-year price guarantee. Visit spectrum.com/internet for you for full details. Offer subject to change, valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Navy Federal Credit Union is back with more eligibility. Now you can hear all your favorites like, my brother's a veteran, I get amazing rates. My mom served, I get 24/7 member support. Grandpa was a soldier and now I'm a member. And who could forget, thanks to my father who served in the military, I'm now eligible for incredible member benefits. Call 1-855-800-2102 or visit NavyFederal.org today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus special financing. Limited time. To learn more, visit one of our 10 Orlando Sleep Number stores or visit sleepnumber.com.
Hey there, folks. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes here from the Amy and TJ podcast.
That's right. We are bringing you the tea from Perry every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, tea from Perry. I don't know if we're married to that name, but the point is, we'll tell you what's going on. We'll tell you what's hot, what's not.
Bottom line, everything you need to know that's going on in Paris during the 2024 games, you're going to get it from us.
Listen to Amy and TJ on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Amy and TJ and start listening.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Miss part of the show? The Jim Colbert Show on Demand. Available on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, Jim Colbert Show. So, I recently bought $15 worth of shrimp that was bad and disgusting. I couldn't even eat any of it. And instead of bringing it back, I just loaded $15 worth of water underneath my cart and jacked it. And now we're even. That's how
it goes. You heard it. That's how it goes. Yeah, you sell me bad shrimp, I jack your water.
You want another one? Come in after you a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm kind of confused. You just said that most of the time the air traffic controllers are looking out the window, making sure they don't run into each other. Then a couple minutes later, you said they were in a sealed room with no windows.
Yeah, I said, okay.
Which is it, Bubba?
Okay. I love it when people call me Bubba. See, here's what happens when
he knows that.
Here's what happens when you don't listen, buddy. What happens is clearly said the people in the tower spend most of their time looking at the windows of the tower rather than looking at radar. The people who work air traffic control don't always work in the tower. A number of them, a majority of them, work off property, looking at radars and communicating with the tower. Bubba? All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
I am.
And every single Monday at 6:20, this guy drops by. OneFirmForLife.com. TK Law. Offices right there in Altamont Springs. Good and loud for our friend, Ray Trenley.
Hey, woohoo!
What up, Big Daddy? How you doing?
I love the name Bubba.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for you, but just in general.
Really?
That's my son's nickname in the house.
That's my son's nickname.
And then his dog is named Bubba as well.
And my best friend and I, we call each other Bub.
Really?
For short. Yeah.
I call him Bub. I rarely say my son's name. It's just Bub. Hey, Bub.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just how it always is.
I don't even know where I came up with it, but I've always loved it.
He's been Bub since he was like 3.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just been a perpetual Bub. But you're in the South, though. You get a lot of Bubbas in the South.
Yeah, that must be what it's from. But I love it. So it's funny you kind of took it as a personal affront, and I know like the worst thing is like when somebody's like, "Hey, friend," and then they correct you.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
Bubba.
it's the way he said Bubba, and you know what I'm talking about.
For sure. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How about you, buddy?
Good. Yeah. Just trying to outlast Hurricane Debbie.
Hey.
You've done it. I mean, we're going to get some more bands and stuff tomorrow, but I mean, the majority of that thing is done, and it is causing some. I mean, you've seen the rain is up in the North Florida and Fort Myers already again.
So I was at the property I like to go hunting and fishing and camping on is in that area as well. So I was there Saturday.
Up in North Florida?
Yeah.
We weren't far from each other then. I was at Itchtuckney this weekend.
Yeah. So it's right outside Stark is where I go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you weren't that far away at all.
So I went up there. It was about shin deep water.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday. So I reset my rain gauge. And by yesterday at like noon, that 5-inch rain gauge was already full. So it's probably got another 10 inches at it.
We got out of there just in time yesterday. We left Fort White, Florida is where that is.
I love that area.
Yeah, near High Springs.
High Springs, yeah.
Yeah, so we left there yesterday probably around like 9 in the morning, and we hear it got just blasted right around noon because we got it when we got home. As soon as I unloaded the truck, we just started getting killed.
The problem with the springs is that water's already that ground is already so saturated that once the water comes in, it just floods.
Yeah, we got real lucky there. The place we stay at is relatively high, and we don't have any issues with that. There's a lot of grass, so it kind of soaks in. So, and we're not. Do you guys have an RV or are you tent camp?
I'm a tent camper.
Yeah. We don't do primitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep telling myself this is going to be my last year.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And then every year I do it, I'm like, I could do it one more year.
It's brutal, man. When you get if you ever do it in an RV, you'll never go back in a tent. You
actually
will never.
did an RV 2 years ago.
Did you really?
And
why are you back in a tent?
Good question.
Man,
that
is a great question because we do it outdoorsy.
Yeah.
And we just have them drop it off. There's just nothing better.
Yeah, that's what we did 2 years ago, and it was actually a fantastically good time. Like the guy that brought it out, set it up, was perfect. By the time we got there, like it was already set up on blocks, and it was like, all right, here you go. Have fun.
That's what Jimmy said he did.
It was the greatest. We showed up, air was already cold, fridge was already cold, ready to go. Could not be better.
Moonshine in the fridge.
That's right. Add food and beer and move.
That's right.
All right, Ray Trenley, of course, OneFirmForLife.com, TK Law. That's offices right there in Altamont Springs. Drops by every Monday around 6:20 to talk a few things that are happening out there in the world of legalities. We won't get into this because I know this is a much more involved conversation, but you and I have talked about this big lawsuit with Google that's been going on. And just today, about an hour and a half ago, I guess they decided that Google is a monopoly.
Yeah, so big day that the Department of Justice sued Google for violations of antitrust provisions in the Sherman Antitrust Act. And the court came down and agreed with the Department of Justice that said that Google was a monopoly. One of the interesting things, if you recall, we talked about this early on in the trial. I think it was like day 2 of trial after opening statements. They brought in their first set of witnesses who talked about how Google had this deal with some of the Android phones that was going to be the only internet search engine on the phones. And that was like day 1 or day 2 of trial. And, I was not texting and driving. I was.
But that's what got Microsoft busted, right? Wasn't that the big problem with Microsoft is that the machines only came with Microsoft on it, and the computers had no other opportunities to have another operating system?
Right, and so that was really what the court latched on to, and so some of the messages I got about the opinion, little screenshots, that seems to be what the court was really focused on was, hey, you guys had these products and you had this side deal, and it's not to say that you guys aren't the best search engine, but it was anti-competitive in nature because you guys basically forced everybody else out of the market, that there is no market share for them to try to invest that time and energy in for new technology. So who's to say you would have been the best
right.
if you didn't have that monopoly?
Right. And then Apple just did this with their App Store, right? Just went through the same thing with their App Store because they weren't allowing people to sell apps on the store. And that was, yeah. So this
I told you there's going to be a reckoning on big tech. We talked about it earlier this year, and I think it's still happening.
Starting right now, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, what happens now? Now, do they just negotiate with the Justice Department on how to break up Google into separate? Like this is the search engine, this is the advertising department, this is this is that. Is that what will happen, like they did with Microsoft?
I imagine there's going to be some level of that just because of how big Google is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the reality is there's going to be a bigger fallout than probably just that.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And whether it's compensation for some of these smaller companies, basically getting a piece of the puzzle, whether it is some type of kind of disjointed, alphabet company that is no longer associated with, the cell phone technology part. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to pan out, but I think it's going to be pretty big because it looks pretty clear that the court's going to be drawing the example that this is not okay behavior in the capital market.
Absolutely not. I think they're going to have plenty of receipts there as well. I think they'll be able to drum up as many witnesses and testimonies as they'll need to do this because there are many businesses. Look, I have a little inside knowledge on how difficult it is to work with Amazon, to market a product on Amazon and through Google, and how they use their internal power to manipulate how you spend your money. It is disgusting, and it is borderline mob-esque in some of those scenarios.
Ray, how do you think the other tech companies like Amazon and Apple will see this? Is this it's like, does it help them by Google being taken down a peg, or is it a warning of things to come that they need to kind of align themselves, kind of get right to make sure it doesn't happen to them?
God, I would think it would have to reinforce that, right?
Yeah, so I actually think it's a little bit of both, right? So I think initially, right, it takes Google down a peg, so that kind of opens up some opportunities for some of these other tech companies to kind of get in. But I also think you're right. I do think it sets a really big warning because the Department of Justice, Google's been around for a long time. But the Department of Justice really came in swiftly and invested a ton of money into this lawsuit. And so I wouldn't want to be like an Amazon, which is a pretty big player in the tech game already, and then be caught doing the exact same thing. Because, again, now you've already got the precedent. It makes it that much easier for the Department of Justice. And so...
Look, man, I just heard about a few of the practices that happen behind the scenes.
That was the other thing, was the Google ads was a big problem for them.
In those businesses, and I will tell you, when I hear some of those stories of what I hear from people that I know and the money they spend on these places and how they get treated, you just can't believe it.
Yeah.
And it is like mob-esque. It is those or else kind of scenarios.
Take it or leave it.
Right. That's exactly what it is. And they know there's no other game.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to do that, you can't do that. Like if I'm a major retailer, I can't tell Amazon to piss off.
Right.
They represent 50% of my business, and nobody knows that more than they do, or Google. So that empowers them, and that makes it malicious, I believe. That makes it a bit.
Seems like
that
it.
makes it nefarious. I mean, when they use and wield that power against you, and even though it's a capitalist society, the problem is there's no option. You can't do that.
Right. Well, and that's exactly what the problem is, right? Was when you have this anti-competitive nature, and then it forces out the competition, so it just can't survive.
Right.
That's exactly what we're talking about with monopolies.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that pans out. I know that's lawyer porn for sure.
It's really It's funny because I sent it into a group chat of a bunch of lawyers that I'm in. I said I feel like I keep saying this, and it's gonna be like my phrase of the year. But like we're in a historic time, and it's a historic case, and so. I've said that a lot this year. I'm hoping to say it less next year.
But it's about time, though, right? I mean, Microsoft got away with this for years, and then it's just the cycle of it happening, right? I mean, Microsoft has been around way longer than Google. Google came around, they felt themselves, and now they're being regulated. It's going to happen to all these guys who have just steamrolled people like this over and over and over. It's eventually going to break it all down. Now they have precedent.
Right.
They can go back to these cases of other massive companies, and they can say, you're not too big to have this happen to you. And before, I think that was a bit of a mentality. Like, well, if you're Microsoft, you're like, well, okay, bring it on. We're Microsoft. This is not a USA company, buddy. This is a global company. And all these companies can say that very thing. but unfortunately, you work out of the U.S.
That's right.
so,
and
so
you
have to play by these rules.
You want some of our taxpayers' money, you got to follow our rules.
For sure. All right, let's move on because this is a really interesting case. I got to drop this on you a few minutes ago via text. So another case of one of these bounce houses getting airborne, and now another child has died.
What?
Ooh. Yeah, this is out of Maryland, I think is where the story came out of.
So 2 kids are in this bounce house. A gust of wind picks it up, takes it like 20, 30 feet in the air. One kid's okay. It dumps the other child out from 25 or 30 feet. That child passes away.
Yep.
And you started doing some research. I texted you and I said, what is it with this? Why is it like it seems like every week in the summer we hear about or see a video of one of these bounce houses, being flung through the air through a microburst of air or something like that during a storm. And now you did a little research and came up with some pretty incredible numbers.
Yeah. So actually, what's the most amazing about this is normally you're looking for a case and you're like, okay, let them do the research and let them pull. But this is so prevalent that the University of Georgia found, and they did their own research, they found in the last 10 years, 479 injuries and 28 deaths have occurred from wind-related bounce house incidents.
28 kids have died. You think about that.
In the last 10 years.
Just 28 kids in 10 years. I was talking to Ray during the break. If that was a food allergy.
Or a car seat.
Let's say somebody put out something that had a peanut in it, and it made 2 kids sick or killed two kids, you would never hear the end of it. Remember when Tylenol got poisoned?
Right.
That thing was in the news cycle for months. You don't hear. This is a blurb. Oh, another kid got dropped out of a bounce house that was flying in the air. And my question to you is there no liability there? I know you signed a waiver.
Yeah.
Rollins used to be in this business. Russ, that is the host of the morning show here, he was in this business. So I know that those things are very popular. And now for birthday parties, there are myriad of these things to rent. But
I almost just bought one at Tractor Supply a couple weeks ago.
But the fact is, I don't know that. Do they go through a safety procedure with you? Do they tell you, hey, by the way, if the wind gets to this, or if you see this, here are some signs, and you must tie this down, or for the waiver to be valid, or anything like that at all?
So we're kind of mixing a lot of different legal ideas. So on one hand, you've got the failure to warn, right? So that's the instructions of, hey, if you put your finger in front of the chainsaw blade, you're going to lose your finger.
Right.
Right? So, you imagine, there's probably diagrams imprinted all over the bounce house somewhere.
Right, this is the stereotypical label on the blow dryer, don't use this in the shower.
Right,
scenario.
exactly. So you got the failure to warn kind of liability, which is when you're using an object that's got some type of inherently dangerous component to it, you got to warn people about, how they're supposed to use it. On the other hand, you also have negligence, right? This is, I'm renting this to you, and I'm not giving you any instruction on how to set it up, how to stake it down. The Amusement Devices Safety Council advises that if you see the tops of trees swaying, that you shouldn't be setting up a bounce house, that they should be secured with at least 6 anchor points, depending on what the size of it is. And so is that stuff being communicated to people that are renting these, right? So is it user error, right? I've gotten all these instructions. They give me the tie downs, the anchors, they gave me the ropes, they told me how to do everything, they set it up for me, whatever it is that the case? Or conversely, is it a situation where they got no instruction, right? And I think that's a big difference, because if I take this thing home and I've got no instruction, and I'm thinking this thing weighs 300 pounds, there's no way it's going anywhere.
Yeah. And the other thing is, too, is when you deliver these things, they take up the entire back of a pickup truck. They're not small. When you fold those things up, by the way, they're giant and massively heavy.
Very heavy.
So, in other words, you're not dropping by the party rental store and picking up a bounce house that's going to hold like 10 kids.
Right.
They bring that to you and they set it up. And I know that, again, because I used to do that occasionally with Russ. You drop the thing off, you spread it out, you blow it up, make sure there's no leaks, you stake it down. So if those things are blowing away, that means either someone's taking the stakes out or someone didn't set it up properly.
Right. And so, there's lots of questions. I was telling you the story about me. I went to Home Depot over the weekend and got 0 instructions when I got a pruning saw. And
which is basically a chainsaw on a stick.
Right. Which is, really good, like
Keep
leverage.
talking.
Leverage, 16-foot stick with a chainsaw at the ends,
Does it still work, and can I borrow it?
It does still work, but I already returned it.
He rented it.
Okay.
Yeah, I rented it.
Yeah.
Because I made the decision not to buy a new one.
Yeah.
which was actually a really good decision.
Yeah, but his point is, he walks into Home Depot and he goes, "Hey, can I have a spinning chainsaw on a stick?" And they're like, "Yeah, here you go, sign this." No, here's how you crank it. Here's what happens if you cut your finger off. This is how you extend it. No, nothing.
They didn't even have me sign anything.
No, nothing. Remember that stump grinder I rented a while back, guys?
Yes.
This is the entire conversation we had about this. All right, Mr. Colbert, that'll be $163. That's it. No, here's how you get it off the trailer. Here's how you crank it. No, nothing. Do you have a 2-inch ball on your hitch? That's all we need to know. Other than that, zero information about the product. Good luck.
And to me, that's right.
Have it back by 2.
That's ripe for lawsuits, right? Like
Yeah.
even if they have you sign something on the receipt that says you free us of any responsibility for your own negligence, I'm not negligent if you didn't explain it to me.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about that.
I take that lawsuit.
I was going to ask about that. Like, so you hear the word waiver all the
Yeah.
time. You sign a waiver, sign a waiver. Matter of fact, we went tubing this weekend. When you rent your tube or get your tram ticket to take you back and forth, they have you sign a waiver.
It's
in
the
case you
most
get
fun though. I love that.
on the if you get if you get injured on the tram or whatever, you sign a waiver. I've always wondered, like, those things seem ironclad because they use them like they're ironclad. But I mean, what you're saying is maybe they're not ironclad.
So for waivers, it really does depend on the nature of the activity and what's actually in the waiver. So sometimes a lawyer drafts a waiver and it's pretty solid. And it doesn't mean you can't fight it. It just means that you're going to have a fight.
Right.
There are some waivers that I've seen that aren't worth the napkin sitting in front of me, right? It's flimsy. It doesn't hold up. And I'll use a perfect example. There was a case we had, and it was at a what are those golf course? Not a golf course, but
Like a putt-putt course?
A putt-putt golf course. And it was, you release a fall liability, including death. I'm playing putt-putt golf.
Right.
I'm not expecting to die.
Right.
And so it was just a very broad and very non-specific.
Like if you get struck by lightning while playing on our course, we're not responsible for that.
That would make perfect sense. Right? That's a really good waiver.
Another person throws their club.
Or swings it. They're swinging it and you walk into it.
But it's you walked on our property. If you die, it's not our responsibility.
Right. Well, with the waiver in Kentucky, they give you one that say, and the waiver is basically, don't kill yourself with this tube. Oh, by the way, if you get bit by a snake or alligator, that's not on us because you're in the wildlife and there's nothing I can do. They're not remote controlled.
So I think wildlife is a little bit different, right? Because.
But that's what I'm saying is that's nothing. They can't protect you from that because they can't control that.
Well, exactly. There's nothing they could have done to have stopped that from happening other than not letting you rent the tube. Which
and that would just be mean.
You just floated down it with your cooler with no tube. So I think that it's really specific language that should be in those waivers related to the activity that you're participating in. The idea being, do you knowingly waive your right to sue me based off of the activity that you're participating in?
Gotcha.
And that's really the key. We want that connection between the knowledge, I understand that what I'm waiving, and the activity that I'm participating in.
Right. Do you ever ask questions when you sign those or whatever? I mean, is that one of those? Is that a thing like, hey, if as you're signing, you can say, well, what if this happens? Does this cover that? I mean, is that even worthy of doing it, or are you just kind of after the fact?
It depends on the activity. Like if I'm going on a cruise ship and I sign their waiver, I know I'm signing that waiver no matter what because I want to go on the cruise ship.
Right.
Sometimes snarky Ray Trunley comes out, and I will say to them something to the effect of, "This is not going to be enforceable in court," and I know it's not going to be enforceable in court. And I'll sign this, but I want you to sign it that says it's not going to be enforceable in court. And people are like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that."
Yeah. Just ride the zip line, buddy.
I'm like, well, that's okay. I will record this conversation in my memory to know that I've told you this. It's not going to be enforceable. And you let me participate in this activity knowing that this is not going to be enforceable.
When you're in Haiti about to hop on the longest zip line in the world, you know what that waiver means?
Nothing.
Yeah, because when that thing drops you from 150 feet and then drags you across a reef, your waiver isn't going to matter. That's not going to stop the bleeding.
I bet it was fun, though.
It could have been.
I didn't even know he was here. What waiver?
It was called the pterodactyl.
Ooh.
Isn't that what it's called, Jack, in that liability? Isn't it the pterodactyl, that long zip line in the liability?
I've been on it. I don't remember that being a name, but maybe.
I don't know. I thought it was like the pterodactyl, the dragon, or something like that.
Pterodactyl sounds cool, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, if you can get up there, because sometimes the Haitians don't want to let you get up there, and they block the roads.
Really?
Yeah, they hold you. They'll hold the.
Do they have like guns and stuff to like scare you, or
no? They don't have to. They just tell the tram you probably shouldn't come on this road.
Gotcha.
If you don't pay us the $20 or $50 or whatever it is.
Oh, I'm all about paying people off to do the fun things.
Oh, yeah. You're down for that?
Yeah, I'm all
right.
about that.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Take a little break. We'll get out of here on a Monday and a little bit more with our buddy Ray Trindley.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio, at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
iHeartRadio Olympics update.
Simone Biles added one more medal to her total count at the Olympics today, winning silver in the floor exercise.
Whoever medaled, and that's what's so exciting because you just never know with gymnastics.
American Jordan Childs took home the bronze. Miles Partain and Andrew Benish advanced to the round of 8 in the men's beach volleyball tournament after topping Italy in straight sets.
For NBC's live coverage from Paris, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Going on in Central Florida, Fox 35 storm team meteorologist Noah Bergen here. We are looking at gusty winds tomorrow and Wednesday out of the west-northwest, 10 to 20 miles an hour behind Hurricane Debbie. A historic flood event looks to be ongoing in South Carolina, parts of Georgia. Could be 2 to 3 feet of rain at the core of Debbie. And recovery will now commence in the northwest part of the state. But for us, just a couple of pop-up thunder showers in the afternoon on Tuesday.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Steve Kramer here with the divorce tip. Inheritance isn't a marital asset unless you handle the money wrong or your divorce wrong. Then you can lose it to your ex. Call Trendley and Kramer, TK Law. We do divorce. OneFirmForLife.com.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties so that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hey, Leesburg, get ready for an evening of fun and excitement this Friday from 5 to 9 p.m. Join us at Town Square for live music featuring the incredible John Jaycee. But that's not all. Experience the magic of our evening market on 5th Street. Browse unique finds and tasty treats. Grab a drink, ice cream, or savory snack from one of our downtown establishments as you stroll and discover Leesburg. Mark your calendars for this Friday. Discover Leesburg. Go to Leesburg Special Events on Facebook for more info.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, explains how audio is an ideal way for brands to tell their stories.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. I think that there's something deep in all of us that enjoys listening to and telling stories. When I think about what we do here at Genentech, we do a lot to actually tell the broader story of our company and the legacy that we stand upon. 45 years marketing more than 40 medicines over that time period. And we celebrate that in story form, in audio format. It's a great way for people to learn more about what we offer and to be educated in an easy and convenient way.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
Hey, Cam, mind sending me over our new Wi-Fi password?
Oh, sorry, Mitch, you can't be trusted.
What?
It's your phone. It's different than mine.
Cam! And I thought I was a judgy one.
No, it's just messages between different devices aren't encrypted.
Okay. Since when do you know about encryption?
I know what encryption is, and it's because I'm the last line of defense against any would-be Wi-Fi thieves.
Cam, come on.
Okay, fine. I'll send it somewhere more private.
Thank you.
Safely send messages between different devices. On WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
From the team behind Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanished comes a brand new investigative true crime podcast, Flashpoint. Listen as they explore the homegrown terrorism threat through the lens of the Atlanta Olympic bombing and its aftermath.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Listen to Flashpoint on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Flashpoint to start listening.
Need help navigating your will or trust? Visit onefirmforlife.com today for your free consultation.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan. This is the Jim Colbert Show on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, and right here on Real Radio 104.1.
Good afternoon, morning, Colbert crew, and I just wanted to do a homage to that last talkbacker. Big T out.
There you go. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here along with our buddy Ray Trimley. That's onefirmforlife.com. That's the website. TK Law is the firm. They're right there in Altamont Springs. For all of your lawyer needs, from personal injury all the way up to family matters, divorce. You guys handle it all, right?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, right? You guys busy right now?
It's been really busy with litigation work, but hoping that slows down a little bit and we can do some more transactional stuff, because that's a lot of fun. I like to do the thinking part of the job. But,
yeah.
The litigation's fun. It just takes up a lot of mental energy.
Yeah, because you got to prepare for everything like that, right? And I know you love arguing.
And I don't like to lose.
And you don't like to lose, so you have to be over-prepared for those kind of things. And are you going to have the Eustace woman in the
Yes,
thing?
I do.
Yeah, because I just saw that thing. I was like, wow.
Ray, what's your arguing record with your wife?
0 and probably 100,000.
If you're smart, if you're smart, it's 0 in life.
That's right.
Yeah. That's why you're still married.
Happily married. That's the key. I don't need to win.
All right, 407-916-1041. Again, text us at 77031. Deb, let's do You Heard It Here first.
It's time for You Heard It Here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
Kicking off overseas, reports say at least 5 U.S. personnel have been injured in a rocket attack against a military base in Iraq. It happened at the Al-Assad Air Base, and it's not yet known where the strike came from.
Iran.
This comes, thank you, Jack.
They've been saying it all day. We're waiting.
This comes with growing fears of an attack by Iran on Israel, so we'll keep you posted on that. Closer to home, 1 Lake County deputy is dead, 2 others wounded, 3 suspects are dead while 1 person is in custody. Lake County Sheriff Peyton Grinnell provided an update today on Friday's ambush on 3 of his deputies investigating a domestic disturbance at a home in Eustis, and he credited the community for their outpouring of support.
Our sheriff's office family is hurting, and all of you are helping us through this horrific nightmare. I can't thank you enough.
Sheriff Grinnell says a Eustis woman who was taken into custody under the Baker Act following that deadly ambush of Lake County deputies was arrested this afternoon. 48-year-old Julie Jefferson Sulpizio faces charges of premeditated first-degree murder on a law enforcement officer, 7 counts of attempted murder, and 4 counts of battery. Investigators say they've also reached out to federal agencies to help find out about the family's motives. She's facing first degree because they said she repeatedly tried to lure the deputy down to the house, but she was actually trying to lure her neighbors. And when investigators...
But she thought they were like pedophiles or something, right?
That's what she was. Senators and pedophiles. She said she's Helen of God.
Right,
So she was trying to lure her neighbors down so that her husband and 2 daughters could reportedly shoot and kill the neighbors. So this was clearly a setup job.
Wow.
And then finally, a U.S. fugitive has been nabbed in Mexico after working as a cop for 20 years. Antonio Riano was wanted for a fatal shooting outside of an Ohio bar. Prosecutors said Riano killed a man in 2004. He was charged with murder, but fled the country to avoid prosecution. And what job do you go to after that? Law enforcement.
Hit a cop in Mexico. That's what
Riano,
you do.
yeah, Riano is now back in the U.S. behind bars.
How'd they get him?
Probably just a tip, right?
I don't know, actually.
Worked for 10 years? He was
20
doing,
years.
20 years he's been getting away with it?
Yeah, exactly. And you heard it here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Jack, do we have a question? Oh, by the way, who do we have to thank today?
We definitely want to thank friendly attorney Ray Trindley of TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Also want to thank Brandon Kravitz from our sister station 96.9 The Game. And last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate that very much. Jack, question of the day?
When was the last time you went camping?
Ray, that was just a couple weekends for you.
A few days ago.
All right. Yeah, last weekend for me.
Here are the choices I put up.
Wait, real quick, before you guys, when's the last time you went camping?
Oh, it's been at least 10 years.
10 years?
Even more for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is a shame. I love it.
Yeah. So the choices were this year, last year, longer, or never. What won the poll?
I think most people have gone within the last 2 years.
69% say longer than since last year.
Wow, really?
Wow.
How many people say never?
11%.
Damn, that's a shame, man.
9% for this calendar year, 11% for last year.
Wow.
69% longer than that.
They just don't know about that Outdoorsy app that lets you do the whole camper RV thing without having to buy one for only $195,000.
Yeah, for the same price as like renting a room in an okay hotel. It's the same thing.
Plus, you get the inner peace of being outdoors.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. Right outside the door. Ray, thanks as always. Good to see you there.
Appreciate you guys.
That's TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Again, many disciplines there. If you have any legal question, you can call these guys up for an answer. Tomorrow we'll have What You Do That's New. Jack, we'll go over your choice. Do we have a celebrity chooser afterwards?
We do, and that's all set up and ready to go. We're good to go for tomorrow. I put a link. It's 3 short videos all about the Olympics. Total running time is less than 16 minutes.
Hot damn, Jack.
Jimmy, you can do it
Very
in your
good.
show prep.
Also, we'll talk to It's Only Money. Scott Brown for It's Only Money from Edgewater Family Wealth. All right, let's get the hell out of here, man.
He'll be
Been a good day today.
He'll be doing his What You Do That's New as the music is playing for the show.
That's exactly what'll happen, probably.
Yep, I know.
All right, let's get out of here. Big show coming up tomorrow for sure. On behalf of Deb, Jack, and our buddy Ray Trindley, I'm Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the monsters in the morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic Monday evening.
Bye. Stay safe.
A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.